And so I told them the Vegas story, which I will now tell you guys.
Oh, boy.
So I had just turned 30. And my dad, as a late birthday present, he's like, why don't I fly out to Las Vegas and you and your buddy Jeff can go hang out and have a few days? And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Sin City? Like, let's go. It's Nevada. Brothels are legal. And at the time, I was a virgin. So I Googled the closest legal brothel, and I picked 3 different women to send this copy and pasted email to. And like 8 minutes later, one of them emails me back, and she's like, yeah, I'll take that amount, and yeah, well, I'll give you an hour. But it was so wholesome. After the hour, she walks me out. She gave me a hug, and she's like, if you ever have any questions, you can email me anytime. Yeah, I'm like, I walk out a man. I'm like, I did it. And in the Uber, I called my grandma first thing. I was like, Gran, guess what? She's like, what? I told her I just lost my virginity in a brothel in Nevada.
Welcome to Backpacker Radio, presented by The Trek, brought to you by LMNT. I am your co-host, Zach Badger Davis. Sitting to my right is...
I am Juliana Chaunce, a.k.a. Chaunce.
Reminders. This is a new reminder, and this is going to apply to 0.0001% of listeners, but I'm going to say it anyways. We have a new survey out, specifically for people who are Triple Crown thru-hikers. So if you've hiked the AT, PCT, and CDT, would love for you to share some of your insights. Obviously, these always are helpful for people that want to follow in your footsteps. Going to ask everything about how much money you spent, your gear, biggest mistakes, etc., etc. So if you'd be so kind as to share, I think it's about 10 minutes of your time. The link to get involved there is in the show notes. Next is, if you're taking on a long-distance trek in 2026 and you're going to be part of the baddest team in the backcountry, we are accepting applications to be a blogger for the trek. Many, many perks. Jess, are you around? She left. I was going to have her sit in and give some of the perks.
Did she leave? Yes. Jessica?
She's hiding now.
I heard
it's
her
okay.
cough.
It's okay. One of the perks is you get to be Jess's best friend, and she won't run away from you like she just did there. We've got gear discounts. You get to be featured on the Trek's large and awesome Instagram accounts. What else? We're going to fly one person out at the end of the year, a standout Trek blogger, to join us right here on this podcast. We're a few weeks away from making good on the 2025 version of that. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. Get involved. Link in show notes. Last but not least, if you enjoy the show and you'd like to support your Cinnamon Connection and friends, you can do so. Patreon.com/BackpackerRadio. You can get in on the fun for as little as $5 per month. Chaunce?
Yes, Patreon.com. It is the best way to support the show if you like what you're hearing and if you want to keep hearing it. We've had 8 good years of this, and it is without a doubt because of our Patreon supporters and the ability for us to be able to do the things we do with that support. So if you like the show and you want to keep hearing us, and maybe you don't want to hear ads, but maybe if you just like the show, this is a great way to help make sure that we can keep the lights on and keep things going and keep doing fun stuff.
Yeah, forgot to mention. All the episodes are ad-free. You mentioned it. I forgot to mention it. So Patreon.com/BackpackerRadio. Okay, let's get to today's interview with Casey Vegas Huffman. Vegas thru-hiked the AT and Foothills Trail in 2023, the Ozark Highlands Trail and West Highland Way in 24, and both the PCT and Long Trail in 2025 this year. In addition to his thru-hikes, Vegas has also expeditioned in the Valley of 10,000 Smokes in Alaska. There's probably more bio that we could add here. Chaunce and I have signed multiple parts of his body.
I've seen this man's butt.
Yeah. Touched?
No, I didn't touch his butt.
Well,
I touched a Sharpie that touched his butt.
you were touching the thing that touched his butt.
Yes.
You definitely requested a different cheek.
I'm touching a table right now that's touching his arm that touches his butt.
Quit fondling the man. Give the guy some space.
That's like transitive property fondling or something like that.
Yeah. Got a math major on our hands here. Vegas, thank you so much for joining us here on Backpacker Radio.
Oh, absolutely, guys. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Likewise. Where do we start? Where do we start? You've listened to the podcast a lot. What's a good first question for Vegas?
Oh, well, it depends on, do you want to go for the throat? Do you want to get nitty and gritty fast, or do you want to ease into it? A little foreplay? Like, what do you guys want to do?
Startle us.
Startle.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say you startled me at trail days, PCT trail days, because we had AT trail days. You guys signed my chest, and I was like the coolest guy in the room that day. Then PCT days, I come up, I was like, you guys want to sign my chest again? And Chaunce is like, oh, we're signing your butt this time. And
that was your idea?
Oh.
Well, you got to level it up a bit. We've already signed his chest.
Yeah, so she's like, let's level up.
What happens at CDT trail days?
That's what
I'm
scared.
I told him that we each sign a ball. That was actually what I said to him specifically.
You would have to hold the ball in place.
Yeah, he's going to need to
I feel like
stretch it out for me.
The that sounds painful.
I think
I'm a
that's an
little
HR
scared.
violation. We're gonna have to get Java on the
Yeah, I'll
phone.
have to ask Java.
Yeah. So did we preempt what you were gonna say? Is what the next step is?
Oh, that's up to you guys.
I
Just
think we
you know,
startled him.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
good. That's the first time we've sexually harassed someone as a first question on Backpacker Radio. So
Yep.
I'm honored.
322 episodes in, 332, and we're still making history here. Let us start. So I guess tell us the origin story to you getting into the outdoors / backpacking.
So when I was a kid, like a kid, like we moved to the house that my dad still lives in today when I was like 7. So before that, I was like a wannabe Peter Pan. Like I was always barefoot running around the woods. Not so much as like the athletic endurance stuff, but more so like building forts and making tree houses and playing lightsabers, playing ping pong guns, like, you know, the misadventures of Muggle Vegas in the woods.
I was big on mud pies.
What is that?
Oh, it's when you mix water with dirt and then it makes like a nice mud consistency and you get it like a really flat pancake.
Shit, do you
looking
eat
thing.
that?
No, I
Okay.
had a little play school desk that we kept outside because it was like
Aw.
we didn't need it inside anymore. And my biggest thing was before I went inside, if you let them dry in a certain way, they wouldn't crack.
I feel like I would
But
mistake
if they
that for...
dried too fast, they'd crack. But I would put them in the desk at night so that the bears couldn't eat them.
Damn.
And I lived
Okay.
in downstate New York. Like there's no bears.
Yeah.
I mean, there are, but not like in my backyard.
I
But
feel like if I
was
saw
my
that,
thought.
I would have mistaken that for like cow shit or something.
I was
Like
gonna
It
say.
looked very similar.
that. Yeah, okay.
I
yeah.
would-
But my biggest concern was that bears would want to eat it because it just was so
Oh.
round.
I have a different association with mud pie, but
Well, that's mine.
yeah, that's good.
Your association is poop.
Yeah,
right?
usually just very
Yeah.
liquidy.
Yeah.
A sloppy mud pie is
Oh.
usually.
Yeah. No, I was just comparing my
Yeah,
outdoorsy,
yeah,
you
good.
know,
Yeah. Well, it's,
background.
you know, similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then so we moved, and then not long after we moved, I think because I was such a misadventurous child, wild child in the woods, pretty sure I was a problem child in school and growing up, and I was instantly thrown into the ringer with like meds and therapy and stuff like that. And so I was a zombie from like elementary school, middle school, and high school.
What kind of meds are they giving you?
All of them. I was on. I mean, I'm pretty sure because when I was in like the therapy and the psychiatric ringer. I mean, we're like, we're millennials. Are you a millennial?
Elder millennial.
Okay, so like, you know, the ADHD was the thing back in
Yeah.
like, you know.
If
So
you're
I
a
was-
boy,
Oh, what is it if you're a girl?
undiagnosed, they just ignore you.
Just like a little dot dot dot.
No, they just tell you to keep working hard.
Damn. I don't know if I got the short end of the stick there or not.
I feel like basically what I'm saying is I feel like they diagnosed like a shit ton of boys.
Oh,
you know, like
yeah, well,
all the
yeah,
boys in school were
yeah.
diagnosed, and then all the girls were like, she's high achieving.
Lucky. Well, I don't know, maybe there were perks, I guess. But so, you know, I was on like a bunch of stimulants, but then like the stimulants would make me act all weird, so then they'd put me on like dopamine antagonists, and so then I was on the serotonin stuff, just all sorts of behavioral meds. And like I remember all of my childhood. It's not like I was like out or anything like that, but I was definitely like zombified. Didn't have much of a personality, wasn't going anywhere, just kind of drifted. And you know, all sorts of medicinal changes. And I was not a very happy guy through all that. And then like a couple years out of high school, I was like, man, oh, fuck this. Like, and I went off of everything. And there was like a year or two where that like really sucked. But then once I kind of like, you know, pulled my head out of the barrel of water that was all that stuff, I kind of got back into like the whole outdoorsy thing. And like, it was summertime when that happened. So I started like fishing when it was nice out. And then once it got too cold to do that, I was living at the time, I was born and raised in like the various Baltimore suburbs. Don't hold it against me. But like you guys know urbexing, like urban exploring.
No.
No.
So it's kind of, I mean, Baltimore being a city of urban decay, there's like all these abandoned military forts and stuff. And so once it got too cold to go fishing, we would, you know, go into like the tunnels underground and like, you know, take like ropes and headlamps and like crawl around through these like needles on the ground and stuff. Like it was gnarly. But urban exploring is just like, you know, abandoned factories or abandoned schools where they're just totally, you know, burnt out industrial. You go in there and just,
It sounds like an episode of The Wire.
I never saw, every time I tell people like from Baltimore, like, you know, The Wire, and I'm like, I never watched that show.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, if they portray Baltimore as a shitty, burnt out industrial town, then they're doing it right.
Yeah, I think they basically
Yeah.
do.
So once it got like colder weather, we would do that. And then that led into more like just straight up hiking. And like the Patapsco Valley is a really cool area around there that we'd go for hikes, and more it turned from exploring to hiking, and our radius of where we were looking for trails to hike got wider. Until, of course, I stumbled upon the AT in Maryland. And we're like, oh, looking at, like, I hate all trails these days, but we're looking at all trails back then, like, how far is this trail? And it's like goes from Georgia to Maine, which I feel like a lot of people have that story where they're like, what the hell, this trail goes all the way. So I kind of saw that, and I was like, whoa. And I use a lot of Harry Potter metaphors. That sounds like something you will get, but you will not.
You read a trail, yeah.
So I refer to the off-trail world as the Muggle world.
Okay.
Right? And I refer to that moment that you kind of realize there's a trail that's that long. People thru hike it in one season. And you get that like spark where you're like, oh, I'm going to do that one day. That's getting your letter from Hogwarts. So, yeah. Hogwarts.
See, I was thinking you were going to say it was when the bricks at Diagon Alley open.
I have one for that too. That's later
that.
on. I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah.
But I have one later on. So
Okay,
like
cool.
getting your letter from Hogwarts is the moment you realize there's a trail that does that, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that one day. And it just never, it stuck from there.
Yeah. So you said in high school you went off all the meds?
No, it was like a year or two out of high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you wean off with supervision, or was it just cold turkey?
No, it was cold turkey.
What was that like? Because I know that's dangerous, right?
Oh yeah. And I was on benzos, I was on SSRIs, and like there was about a month where I didn't know if I was gonna make it. Like it was bad. I've been inpatient psychiatric like 2 different times for reasons like that. Like it was really, really bad coming off of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole everything happens for a reason thing. I'm much better where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But during that, it sucked.
Whew.
What was inpatient like?
You know what's actually weird? So, it was in Towson, which is like a suburb of Baltimore, and it was 2023, and then 2013 and 2017, I think. So it's a good like 4 or 5 years apart, but I was put in the same exact room.
What?
Yeah, which I was like, that's like some 4-dimensional shit.
Wow.
It's like the first time didn't work, and then I time traveled to the next time, like round 2. So that messed me up. It was weird, but it was for like young adults. Like not to sound disparaging to this, but I feel like a lot of people would probably think it's like, what's that movie with Jack Nicholson and
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
yeah, where it's there were like 1 or 2 times somebody might get a little like upset or animated, and they would tell us, hey, everybody go back to your room. But it was mostly like I had a room with a bathroom. Every hour, 24/7, they'd come in and check on you. So like while you're sleeping, they like open it up, look at you, and close it. Not enough to wake you up. If I was awake, I'd see them do it. If I was asleep, it wouldn't wake me up. You got 3 meals a day. There was like Super Smash Brothers in like the rec room, so I kicked a whole bunch of ass at that game. That was pretty cool. And there was, they'd have a doctor would come talk to you one-on-one like once a day, and then you'd have, I think it was like once a day, like group therapy and stuff. And all of that like was optional, but obviously it looked good on paper if you would attend it and stuff like that. And like being honest, the first time I was in there, I quickly learned like what they want to hear, and I talked my way out. Like whatever. But the second time it was more, I went in kind of voluntarily. Like I need to get some shit straight.
You wanted to be rehabbed.
Yeah. And I went in and kind of tried harder to actually work with them. And it was good because like if you want pills shoved down your throat, they can do that. But if you tell them like I want to try and make this work without medication, they'll also work with you on that too. So, I mean, therapy, in my opinion, it can get you so far, but the rest is up to you. So, overall, I think it was a good experience, I guess.
Were they trying to help you get off all those medications, like in a safe way?
No, actually, the cold turkey happened after my final stint in there. I was dropped from one of my psychiatrists. Like, she basically was like, I can't help you. You need more help than I can give you. And she did offer me. She's like, I can refer you to I can talk to your primary care provider and like keep you on the same dosage, or I can refer you to somebody else. But I definitely had I was like, well, fuck this. You know what? I don't even care. I'm just going to go off everything.
I'm sure it's probably like not very encouraging to have a therapist or a psychiatrist whose like job is to help you.
Oh,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sorry, you're too much for me.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of like, damn.
Yeah.
But I mean, and again, it's one of those things where like it happened, and me kind of going cold turkey off of it was definitely like a fuck you moment. It was like, you know what, to hell with this. Like, either I'm going to do this on my own or I'm not going to do it at all. So yeah, there was a month where it sucked. Like, coming off of those really sucked. But, then you get your neurotransmitters back at a good level.
Yeah.
Things get settled. And I think it was for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went cold turkey after you left inpatient?
Yeah.
What are you doing during that time? Like, are you able to hold down a job? Like, what is life like for you?
Yeah, I think that was the line. I could hold down a job. I, back at Muggle Vegas, used to like work the, average 9 to 5, and I owned a little condo townhouse thing. Like, I paid a mortgage. I didn't rent or anything. So, like, I think on paper, like, if you didn't know me, but you looked at me on paper, I was adulting relatively successfully, but it was, balancing all that was really, really tough.
Yeah.
I think just how I am, this was after kind of all that settled and I made it off cold turkey and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Then I was still like, I hate this. I want to go hike the AT. So I quit my job and sold my house. And that decision to leave the Muggle world, quit the job, sell the house, that was not a decision I made in the depths of coming off of all that stuff. It was like, once things settled, I still was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that.
So you made that decision once you were getting clarity.
Oh yeah. Once I was in full clarity.
Yeah.
I think that's what allowed me to make the decision.
Yeah, sure.
The last time you were in inpatient was 2017 and you hiked the AT in 2013. That's still like 6 years.
2023. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
2020,
Okay,
17 to 2023.
Uh-huh.
That's still 6 years. So is this idea in the back of your head this whole time for the 6 years just like motivating you?
Yeah, and it was, I would say it was probably around 2020 that it really took hold of me. Because, again, it was actually the last time I was an inpatient, those, like you said, 6 years, that was when a lot of, like, the shit went down. Like, because I was in inpatient, and I was on medication coming out of that, working with a doctor. And it was, like, 2021, maybe 2022, I want to say, when other stuff started going down, and my doctor was kind of like, I don't think we can help you. And I cold turkeyed off of it then. So that was quite a while after my last stint in the inpatient. Yeah.
And you mentioned that you put on the meds is like middle school. At what age was this on?
I was in like third grade and I think from then on I was just always on something.
Wow. Is this just because you were a hyper child, or like what exactly are we dealing with here?
I think when I was a kid, my parents, they were, there was no malicious intent there. It's like you listen to the doctor, you do the best you can. I think I was just a combination of hyper and intense and explosive. I had a lot of birth trauma. Like, I was in the NICU for a couple weeks and didn't get oxygen when I was born. So they knew, like, this kid's going to give us some shit. Like, they were kind of bracing themselves for it. But I think it was just a big, wide range of behavioral problems. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was just, looking back on it now that I have the clarity I do now, and knowing that I don't belong in the Muggle world and I like it better on trail, I think back then it was just the little kid Muggle Vegas version of not liking where I was and just seeing through all like it's all stupid. Like, why do I have to behave and be good in school when I know I'm not going to use this one day? Yeah. I think I was feeling the little kid version of that.
While we're on the topic of mental health, there's a story that we had hinted to us that maybe ties in about the tattoos on your hands.
Oh, yeah. Camera plug? This is a plug for the YouTube, right?
Yeah. Check us out on YouTube.
Yeah.
I have no on my left hand and yes on my right hand. And I'm left-handed, which is why the no sucks.
I'm a lefty too.
Hell yeah, right here. Left-handed fist bump. Boom. Yeah, I did that with a needle and ink, just stick and poke.
Hell yeah.
Because actually, when I first started, the hiking expanded to more backpacking stuff. And when I first started doing that, I would go with buddies every now and then. Like, I had two Maryland buddies, Vince and Dean, that I would backpack with sometimes. But the other half of the time, I would just go out there by myself. And, a total 180 happened on the AT. But back then, I went out there to, like, I'm not talking to anybody. This is my time to get away from the Muggle world and just be in my own head. And I would yo-yo Maryland, like the Harper's Ferry line to the Mason-Dixon line. I've done that, like, at least 10 times prior to my thru-hike, just to get ready and stuff. And I would straight up see people out there, and I would just answer them by holding up a hand. And looking back on it, I probably came across as such a dick. like you're hikers, you want to interact and talk with people and stuff like that. And I'd just be, and like, hey, like, are you hiking on the AT? And I'd be like, and then just keep walking.
They probably thought you were on like a vow of silence.
Yeah, something like that.
So like, maybe
yeah.
you didn't look like a dick.
I mean, I'm sure I probably looked really pissed off, though.
Yeah,
I don't think I look like that way anymore. But
So walk us through the early transition into being a thru hiker. Like you go from, sounds like a pretty rough place psychologically. You said holding down a job was kind of like your threshold of as much adulting as you could do.
Yep.
You got clarity. If you make the decision to go to the AT, walk us through the first like week or two on trail.
like on the actual thru hike.
Yeah.
So even though I did those like quote unquote shakedown hikes on Maryland, like when I started Amicalola, I had a 68-pound backpack. I wore these big ass heavy boots, like, and the rangers were like, you shouldn't hike. Like, you should not be here. And I was like, what's your contact info? Because I'm going to fucking send you my Katahdin photo. Like, I didn't actually say it to him. I should have. But that first week, it was the first couple of days was kind of what I expected. I mean, it sucked having that heavy of a backpack.
Yeah.
And even throughout the whole AT, like let alone the first week, when I finished my thru hike on the AT at Katahdin, I still had like a 55-pound backpack and wore boots. So like I learned how to backpack on my AT thru hike. Like I didn't know what I was doing when I started, but I was out there for just like the adventure. And you make friends, you make buddies, you get a tramway, and they kind of help you here and there. Because I'm not a gearhead. I'll say that right now. Like, I don't mind talking about gear, but I'm one of those guys that once I get what I like, I just like buy the same thing over and over once it dies. You have those guys that have spreadsheets for trying out new shit. Like, I'm not like that. So the first week was a lot of like, half of it was like what I expected, because I was up to about Neil Gap, like Mountain Crossing. I was kind of in the whole yes and no, not talking to many people, doing my thing phase. The heavy backpack really sucked. But it was right around that 30-mile mark that I started. I mean, you guys know how it is. You see the same faces. You fall in the pace behind the same people. And that's kind of when I started opening up a little bit and talking with people. And it just makes me smile, because, like, going out there that first 30 miles, being as silent as I was, and, like, this is years in the making. I'm like, this is it. I'm on my thru hike. And, I had, I guess, like, main character syndrome. I'm like, I'm out here because, like, it's Katahdin or bust for me. Like, the impression I left to my family and friends back in Maryland was like, I'm going out to do this, and like, if this doesn't work, like, I'm not coming back. Like, whether you find me somewhere in the woods or I just check myself into somewhere permanently. It was like a Hail Mary attempt at like finally getting better. And so it was a very intense feeling that first couple days, because I'm like, this is it. This is the journey I've been hyping up and stuff like that. But once you open up and you talk to other people, it's like everybody else is out there for that reason too. Everybody is their own main character going through that big self-hyping up journey. And it was such a 180 to be able to, like, you think, here I am, and I'm like, I was damn near suicidal before I left, and this is a Hail Mary attempt to get better, blah, blah, blah. And so is like 80% of everybody else you meet out there. Everybody's in a similar spot. And so the bonding that occurred and the camaraderie that developed very early on was something I'd never, ever felt before.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Do you think part of that is because you're in a different environment? Like, all these stories you're telling from, being on the med since you were young, and the inpatient that's right near your home, and, all that stuff. These are all people that knew you and had this idea of who you were. And if you had, like, branded yourself like a troubled child or, any of that stuff, then that's kind of the image that you have. And now you're on this trail where all these people that are meeting you don't have these preconceived notions of you. Yeah, very much so. I didn't go into it thinking, like, I'm going to, like, reset my identity. That wasn't, like, something on the forefront of my mind. But I think that is something you, like, unconsciously feel when you go out there. It's like, nobody here knows me, so, like, if I want to try and act different to develop a different image that others perceive me as, I could do that. I didn't consciously try to do that, but I also was like, I'm not gonna hide anything. I'm just gonna, like, be myself, which is how I got my trail name. I don't know if you guys know that story, but No, I don't.
Enlighten us.
Okay, so so I can give you the skinny of it, like the punchline, but then there's also, like, hilarious detail I can go into.
Yeah, you're on the podcast, so you got to tell the story.
Okay, here we go.
Hilarious
So,
detail kind of podcast.
Is it Vegas, or is it Vegas the Pied Piper?
So I got Vegas early on the AT, and then right after the AT, I got the Pied Piper, and I will gladly tell both.
Yeah.
The Pied Piper is a much shorter story, but so the Vegas story, I told this story at Trey Mountain Shelter. So like right before Around the Bend. So it was, pretty early on. Like I was saying, I had those familiar faces I was around, seeing the same folks, and we're all sitting around. It's mostly dudes. And you know how dudes are. They're talking about their exes or whatever. And I'm like sitting there eating my ramen, like, oh, I'm here. I'm hiker trash. This is cool. And they're going on the circle talking about, girls they've been with, blah, blah, blah. And, I have times I forget people can see me. Like, I think I'm invisible just watching people talk. And then everybody's looking at me like, what about you? And I'm like, oh. And so I told them the Vegas story, which I will now tell you guys.
Oh, boy.
So, here we go. The month and the year was February 2022. I had just turned 30. And I used to play in a band with this guy who now lives out in Colorado Springs. And I hadn't seen him since he left. It was been a couple years. And so my birthday was the previous December. And my dad, as a late birthday present, he's like, why don't I fly out to Las Vegas and you and your buddy Jeff can go hang out and have a few days? And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Sin City? Like, let's go. So we go out there. We have a great time. We're hanging out. And then one of the days I'm there, it's like 9 in the morning. I go down to the lobby and I'm just playing blackjack, like by myself. And I'm winning like a good amount of money. I was up $1,500. And it's Nevada. Brothels are legal, and at the time I was a virgin. So I'm like, this is my chance. I have so many questions. Like, girls have always been an alien species to me. So I Googled the closest legal brothel to where I was at in Las Vegas, and it's like just a menu of women. Like, they have stats, they have bios, and I'm like, damn.
What are the stats?
There's like name. And then there's like where you're from, a brief bio. There's like measurements and stuff like that. And there's like photos and stuff. And half of me's feeling like, you piece of shit. But then the other half of me is like, this is my shot. I can't let this go. I got to win this money. I'm here in Nevada. This could be my only chance. So I typed up this email that like, my name is Muggle Vegas. I'm 30 years old. I need you to teach me. And I have this much money. And I picked 3 different women to send this copy and pasted email to. And I'm sitting there, my heart is beating so fast. I'm sitting there, and like 8 minutes later, one of them emails me back, and she's like, yeah, I'll take that amount, and yeah, well, I'll give you an hour. And I'm like, all right. So I call an Uber from the hotel I'm staying at in Nevada. And it's like this big buff Samoan dude. He reminded me of The Rock. And I'm here like, hello. And he's like, what's up, buddy? And like I get in his Uber, and it's like an hour drive. And like the closer we get, the more he's like looking at me in the rearview mirror. Like I know where we're going. And like the closer we get, I was, oh my God, I'm so nervous. So we're like 5 minutes away, and I get an email from the girl that I had hired. She says, hey, when are you going to use your free limo ride? And I'm like, fuck, God damn it. And so I emailed her back like, oh, I just called an Uber. And she's like, oh, hey, your Uber driver has to come in. Like, we have to talk to him. And I'm thinking I ruined it. I'm like, there goes my shot. I'm going to die a virgin. So we go in, and like there's like a whole ass like security gate that you have to get buzzed into. And at the front desk, there's like some lady, and she's like, can I help you? And I'm like, I'm Muggle Vegas. I'm here for my appointment with Valentina. That was the girl's name. And she's like, oh, you're the guy that hired the Uber. And I'm like, yeah. And so the Uber driver walks in. Remember, he's big, buff Samoan dude. He's like laughing at this point. Like, he sees me sweating bullets. And so they pull him aside, and they tell him, there's no Uber out here. So you have to wait the whole hour while he's in there and then take him back. And I said to him, dude, I will tip the dog shit out of you. I am so sorry. And he's like, you good, buddy, you good. Like he's got like a proud dad smile on his face. So he sits down in the waiting room, and they put me in the other like a waiting area.
Are you conversing with the driver at all about what's... I mean, I know he put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, no, I was not talking to him.
Okay. Yeah.
He was like looking at me, and I'd like look at him and then like look down. So I'm in the waiting area, and like my life is flashing before my eyes. And she comes out, and to their credit, like I had to sign a whole bunch of stuff, like medical stuff. Like it was very professional. Like because it's legal, like they take it very seriously, very clean and stuff like that. And she was actually really, really cool too. Like the first 10 minutes, she didn't count this against the hour. I was like, is this your main gig? Did they 1099 you? She's like, yeah, I just kind of go to different brothels around. And I was like, that's sick. Like,
what are your benefits?
Yeah. I mean, but like we chatted, she was cool. And then fast forward an hour. I walked in with like a ball cap and a flannel open over a t-shirt, and I like walk out with just a t-shirt, like holding everything else like wide-eyed.
Swag.
Oh yeah, but it was so wholesome. After the hour, she walks me out. She gave me a hug, and she's like, "If you ever have any questions, you can email me anytime."
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so, yeah, I walk out, and I'm like, I did it. And
Did you use the full hour?
oh yeah.
I'd imagine the first time in that sort of context, it'd be shorter than that.
How nitty gritty do you want to get with
So
this? 'Cause,
nitty gritty.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
okay, here's the
I-
thing: is
This
I'm
is
thinking.
Oh, we're about
Well,
to
he's
get
saying
real.
like he's asking them to teach him. So I'm imagining that like this isn't just like a one and done hour. This is like an hour of lessons.
Yeah, an educational session.
there was an educational flair to it. Yeah, she would. Do you want to?
Yeah, go
Touch
all
this?
The
Do you wanna
details.
do
all
this?
the way
All
in.
the
Okay,
details.
so I mean, I got to find out what boobs feel like. That was pretty cool. She asked me to do some stuff that I was like, nah, I'm good, thank you though. Yeah, she was apologizing, like,
Well,
It's-
before we go on, what was on the? I'll do anything for love, but I won't.
But I won't do that.
Yeah,
are we really getting into this?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So, the front butt. I will never. I don't know why. Like, I'm not gay, but my tongue on a front butt. There's nothing about that
What's a
appeals to
front
me.
butt?
It's a vagina.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never
Well, see,
heard it
for
be called a
context,
front
I
butt.
found out on the AT that girls have to wipe when they pee, and I found out on the PCT just a couple months ago that girls have 3 holes. So you got the whole 3-ring binder action thing.
Oh,
going
you
on.
thought the pee
Like,
came out of the baby hole?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't know. I don't think about that.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
guys don't know that.
Yeah.
My wife has to continually educate me on how that works.
You have to wipe front to back.
Yeah, we
that
can't get-
sucks.
Yeah, you can't get poo in the baby hole.
Being a girl sounds
It's
hard.
like an infection waiting to happen.
Because
Being a girl is hard.
I wipe back to front.
Yeah.
And-
No. Well, the guys I hiked on the PCT did too because they said no bow for life. So they're always like, and then like I would get shit on because I wasn't no bow for life.
I fucking so
you
well.
know?
That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, she offered. Do you want to, you know, and
All right, so you're not eating pussy. What else is on the list?
okay. So as far as the front butt goes, I'll stick my wiener in it without looking, but that's it. Like
Yeah.
it feels like a mouth with no teeth. There's something. Like again, I mean, I don't know. Everybody's into their own thing. Boobs are pretty cool, but I
Hey,
was like,
agreed there.
she would ask me, and like, but so the punchline here, I guess, like the whole hour, I didn't come. She apologized to me. She's like, I'm really sorry. I almost said, can I get like half my money back? No, I didn't say that because I still learned a lot. It was still a great experience.
What'd you learn?
I learned what boobs feel like. I learned that I'm not crazy into front butts. My neck was all bruised up. That was pretty cool.
Little choking action happening.
Hickey stuff,
Okay.
like mouth on the neck. I'm really into that. Yeah, I like having my knee pit licked.
Your knee pit?
Yeah,
The back of your knee.
yeah.
Weird.
Oh, that's. I don't know.
I mean, not kink shaming, but
Yeah, don't
Never
yuck
heard that
somebody's
one
yum,
before.
man. Like,
I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
So I had a lot of questions answered. It was. I mean, I'm trying to think of anything else. Like, I didn't know if we were gonna have what line we were gonna cross
There's
here.
no
so,
line.
Yeah, we don't have a line. You're talking to the people that are gonna eventually sign your ball sack.
That was that was mostly it. She put the condom on with her mouth, and that was like I felt like pretty badass when that was happening.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
That's rock star stuff
Yeah,
right
she
there.
she looked like Margot Robbie, not as petite, like maybe a bit, but so she was pretty hot.
Oh,
Like,
that's not what I had pictured in my head.
what did you have pictured?
I guess I wasn't assuming necessarily because Margot Robbie's like she's the belle of the ball. She's incredibly beautiful.
She's hot.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been my vision of the escort services and.
I went to I wouldn't say like a top tier one, but I didn't go to a cheap one.
Yeah, what'd you
Like,
pay?
A $1,500 for the hour.
All of the blackjack
Yeah.
money.
Yep.
Wow.
And part of me was like, it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
And so, like, so we finish up. She gives me a hug, and she's like, "If you ever have any questions, email me anytime." I walk out, and the Uber driver sends up. He's like, "You good?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And in the Uber, I called my grandma first thing, Grandma Vegas, R.I.P. And I called her. I was like, "Grand." That's what I call her, is Grand. I was like, "Grand, guess what?" She's like, "What?" And I told her I did, and she was like, "Oh my God, well, how was it?" And I was like, "Oh, it was pretty cool."
You gave her the full detail about like.
No, I didn't go into full detail.
I mean,
Did you tell her-
not-
did you tell her you went to a brothel?
Oh yeah, I told her I just lost my virginity in a brothel in Nevada.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. My grandma and I were so close.
Yeah.
Like, so close. So I told her that, and she was kind of like, well, I'm proud of you. And I was like, thank you.
That's a good Grammy right there.
Well, and so then we're on the Uber ride back. And again, I'm a man now. This is it. The VP of operations of the brothel emails me. He's like, hello, Mr. Muggle Vegas. Thank you for your business. If you could, leave us a review on Google Maps. And I'm like, I'm never going to run for office. Hell yeah, I'll leave you a fucking 5-star review. It's still on there. If you pull up Google Maps and go to the brothel, like, I'm on there.
Wait, can you find it at some point?
Yes,
not
before
right
we
now.
leave, I'll find it and I'll...
Like during segments when we're talking and you're not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll screenshot it and put it in the show. Yeah. Like, screenshot it and put it in the show notes.
Zach Googles it. All of a sudden he's in the doghouse.
Right.
I promise it was for work.
You can blame that on me. If you Google it, you can blame it on me.
Yeah.
But so I left the review, and I said, it was 5 stars. I said, Valentina was fantastic. She eased all my anxieties. Absolutely will come back again. And I sent it back to him, and he's like, cool, thanks. And then 10 minutes later, he emails me again, and he says, oh, buddy, you got to her. She posted your review on her Twitter. And so I go to her Twitter, and she said, like, OMG, what a sweetheart, heart, cry face.
Yeah.
And it was my review or something. So I came back, and, like, my buddy and the girl he was banging or with at the time, they were in one queen-size bed. I was in the other. And I came back. He's still asleep. And he wakes up, and he's like, hey, like, what have you been doing? And I was like, let me tell you. And like I came back to Maryland after the trip, and I told my dad, and like he was like, and like he kind of got quiet for 5 seconds, and then he was like, I'm proud of you, and he fist bumped me. So I'm like, so I told this story at Trey Mountain Shelter because like they're all talking about their exes, and I'm like, well, I have my Vegas story to tell. That's it. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And so the next day, we're going towards Dix Creek Gap, like around the bend, and like Magic Mama was doing trail magic, and her husband had like run up to do like an out and back. And I was with Green Man and Spring Break. And he's like, hey, are you guys through hikers? And this kid, Green Man, he was like 17. Without missing a beat, he was like, yeah, I'm Green Man. That's Spring Break. That's my motherfucking Vegas back there. And I was like, oh. Like, you know when it hits you when you get your trail name.
No.
And I was like.
Neither of us did.
Oh, yeah, I guess you guys technically chose.
Yeah.
But I had that moment where I was like, oh, there it is. I just got my trail name.
Yeah.
Aww.
So it was.
So how many times have
That's
you
his
had to
history.
tell that story?
If people with kids come up or something, I just say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
If I got like 30 seconds, but people want to hear it, I just say I lost my virginity in a Nevada brothel.
Yeah.
And if I got like, I don't mind telling it. I don't mind telling it, but it's more so like, are you sure? Not you, but like you want to hear this. The
Right.
people asking me. So yeah, I've told it maybe 5 times in full detail.
That's funny. When someone says to me, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, I always feel like they're just covering up for a lame story.
Yeah.
Like you're actually covering up for a real story.
Oh man, thank you. Hell
I
yeah.
will say that goes down as one of my favorite trail name stories.
Yeah.
I've
that
been
one
told
and
it's-
Fancy
yeah.
Feast are like two of the goodies.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
That's the Mount Rushmore of trail name stories.
Oh man, thank you. I've been told it's a doozy.
That
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
doozy.
Yep.
So where did the Pied Piper come in?
So after the AT, because again, I did such a 180 on that trail, going from the guy that had the hand tattoos. Towards the end of the trail, people would joke I was like the mayor of the trail. Everybody had my number. I could like.
I mean, we've gotten a ton of submission requests for you to be a podcast guest, so that makes sense.
Oh man, warms my heart. But so that kind of persona I had by the end of the trail, which again, that wasn't a persona I tried to develop. I just kind of like let whatever is going to happen. And I just love the trail. It's communities on the AT, especially if you start with the AT. That community, some of the guys I hiked with are retired state troopers and military, and they say like the tramway is something they still keep up with more than like the cops that they worked with for 20 years kind of a thing. So I was all about that really, really tight-knit community. And then after the thru hike, you summit Katahdin, whatever, blah, blah, we're organizing week-long reunion hikes in Shenandoah. We did one through Maryland, and I was always the one setting those up, always the one being like, come on, guys, come join me in the mountains, come on. And it's kind of a twofold thing there. One, my buddy, $1,000,000, he was like, you're like the Pied Piper of hikers. Like, you're kind of out in the mountains, and every now and then you kind of like give us your little call, and we just kind of follow you up to the mountains. And I'm like, that's badass. But it was cool because early on in the AT, my friend Apple, she was hiking with us. She said, if you didn't have a trail name, I would have suggested Peter Pan for you.
Oh.
I love Peter Pan. He's like my soul animal. And so like I was very complimented by that. The whole Neverland, run around the woods, wild child. And then I was reading somewhere, I forget where I read this, but like Peter Pan was like an iteration of the Pied Piper. He was the guy that like went to the kids and said, come on, follow me to Neverland, and he took them away out of the Muggle world. So Apple suggested Peter Pan, $1 million suggested the Pied Piper. And there was also like more of a, I guess, a metaphorical full circle thing that I really liked, because like, you know, the day that Green Man called me Vegas, I was like, it took me a day to like be okay with it. I was like, I don't know if I really want that. Hang on. But then, like, you know, Vegas is like paradise. It's where you party, man. You make it through the desert and you let's, you know, Sin City, let's party. And my AT thru hike was like me finding that paradise within myself, my journey towards paradise. And then once I found it, the Pied Piper thing makes me feel like, okay, now I can help other people find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, and then the trailman I was with, we have this funny thing where we have like first names and last names. So I was looking for my last name, so I was like, oh, I'll be Vegas the Pied Piper. And that's how that fully came to be. Yeah.
Were you developing any sort of a reputation back before you feel like your exoskeleton was shed and you were able to like connect with people? Like, I would imagine if I meet somebody on trail and they're just flashing hands at me, like word will circulate pretty quickly. Did you feel that in any way?
Not on that end of the extreme, because that didn't last long. I think I used my hands once.
Okay.
On like because I started February 20th. I was a pretty early starter. So I saw folks out there, but we were all kind of doing our own thing, and it was not as crowded as it was going to get. So I think I used the hands once, and then it was only 3 or 4 days in that I started opening up to folks. So this thing didn't last long.
Got it.
It more so became a running joke that, like, look what you were going to do, and look what happened now.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of times after a trail, you know, we hear it time and time again. Like, people get the post-trail blues, post-trail depression. Like, it's just, like, the come down is so much harder than people anticipate. And, like, I've had struggles with depression and anxiety as well, and I find that, like, you have to be extra vigilant and extra prepared for that, because if you already have history of that, like, it's going to hit you even harder. For someone who had come from so much of that and found so much on the trail and had it be so changing, I imagine that wave would have been even bigger. You know, how was it for you when you got off the trail, and how did you cope with that?
so I think I was able to, you know it's coming, obviously. And like you said, me being so prone to that kind of stuff, I braced myself on the one hand. Like when we entered Maine, which, by the way, 2023, the record rainfall year, we had like 6 miles of waist-deep water on trail when we entered Maine.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I was with my buddy Big Willie Dog. But in a way, shit like that makes the camaraderie even tighter. You know what I mean? Which could make the come down even worse. I had my first like big cry when we crossed into Maine. Like I had to call my mom on one of the mountains or something like that. And then the 100-mile wilderness, I got some emotions out. Katahdin, I'm sure you guys hear this a lot. I might have shed like a tear or two, but it's more so like a numb feeling, like a whirlwind. But my friend Big Willie Dog, he had a pretty popular YouTube channel throughout our thru hike. And so I summited Katahdin August 2nd. And, you know, you're finished your thru hike. This is awesome. And then the next night, August 3rd, I was already in like a hotel room in D.C., right back in the Muggle world. So I'm kind of dealing with that culture shock. And then he puts out his video chronicling the summit. Oh, I ugly cried so hard, like in that hotel room in D.C. by myself. And that was cathartic, though. Like, because I think for one of the first times in my life, being labeled as such a problem child and as somebody so prone to mental health problems in the Muggle world, it's almost like you resist the urge to let go and feel what you're feeling in the Muggle world. After the AT, whether it was I just did the thru hike, I've earned my right to show emotions, and whether like this is a lot of emotions I'm feeling. Plus, I was like alone in a hotel room. I let it out, and like it was cathartic. But then, you know, you get that big cry out, and then you think about it in the days to follow. I think, speaking as somebody who's come off of lots of medication, you know, when you're out there hiking every day, your serotonin, your dopamine is sky high. Like when you move that much and you're exercising that much, your brain is pumping you full of neurotransmitters. And so when you stop, if you're going to stagnate that physical activity, your brain like will stop giving you all those neurotransmitters. So like post-trail depression, it's a physical thing. I mean, if I was on Lexapro and Adderall, which increase your serotonin and increase your dopamine, you come off of those, like there's a come down, there's a withdrawal. And so coming off trail, I kind of looked at it the same way. Like, you're coming off of something that had been giving you extra neurotransmitters. So it was easy to not, you don't blame yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you're going through withdrawal. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Do you think you actually had a easier time of it because you knew the symptoms better than someone who wouldn't?
I do, yeah. Because that reason, like, I kind of knew what to expect, and I know, like, there's actually science shit behind this. But then also, I didn't slow down. After the AT, I instantly went out for a road trip to Yosemite. And then I worked a season for the Appalachian Mountain Club, AMC, in the 100-mile wilderness, January to March. So that was like a crazy 10 feet of snow winter. But we're doing all this winter hiking out there.
What is that job?
I was kind of just a lodge keeper, basically. Like, in the winter, they have these, it was 3 different lodges in the 100-mile wilderness. And they had 2 cooks and 3, like, lodge crew members. So I was serving food buffet style. I was cleaning bathrooms. I was kind of a catch-all position. But it was like they give you a place to stay for free, and it was unlimited free food. So the paycheck goes right into your pocket.
Yeah.
So staying on the move like that, and then right from there, I did the Foothills Trail in between there. Then I went to Montana, and I worked a season, which I'll be going back summer 2026, just outside of Yellowstone. And, like, the Beartooth Mountains, it's a couple hours from the CDT, but that Montana area, some of the most beautiful shit I've ever seen. So it really helped. Like the overall point there was I had never really slowed down, and I haven't slowed down. Like, I instantly, when I finished the AT, Muggle friends of mine, contacts of mine, were saying, hey, what's next? You want a job? You want to come back? And I did have that moment where, like, I could go back and kind of just have my adventure, have my fun, and now I go back. But, like, nah, I'm not going to slow down. So I made the switch to living out of the SUV full time, and I'll work a few months here and hike this trail, a few months here and hike this trail. And I was lucky because I didn't, well, obviously, because of the Vegas story, I don't know how to talk to girls. I didn't have any kids. I wasn't married. I was able to sell my house and quit my job just fine. I had no ties. So it was easy for me to kind of just stay on the run like that. And I think that really, really helped, too, with the come down kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I want to double click on the transformation that happened on trail.
Yeah.
Was there, like, a specific moment? Is this like slowly boiling the frog? Like, at what point did you realize, because you went out to the AT to find something, and it sounds like you found it. Like,
Yep.
And with all these interviews, actually would say that you're probably in the minority case,
Yeah.
where people go out looking for that thing and they don't find it, and they have to, like, compromise in, like, what their vision of their ideal world should look like. So you're lucky from the standpoint that you found it. First, I guess, tell me what it was about the AT or through hiking that allowed you to shift your mind to find that good place, and what was the set of conditions that you decided to pursue after the through hike that you're like, I'm going to carry these elements of the trail into my new life, the mogul world. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't do Harry Potter. Like, what elements of the trail did you decide to make a permanent fixture in your life?
So it was a slow burn, but I do have a specific moment. I remember it, like, erupted, and it was really cool because, like, so I've always been, from the time I was a kid, a very vivid dreamer. And I remember you saying you hate listening to other people's dreams.
Oh,
Like, you
tell
think
them a
that's
dream story. Tell them a dream story.
No, I'm not going to tell you my
I
dreams.
like metaphorical dreams. I don't like literal dreams.
Right.
But
So
yeah.
From the time I was a kid, I had very, very vivid dreams. And the weirdest thing, all my dreams took place in the same place, if that makes sense. Like, it's never a place that I've been to in my waking life, but in my dreams, I could have a dream on, like, a Monday and it's in this area. Then a week later, I have a dream in a totally different place. But I know where those two dreams were geographically related to each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is it
like there's
real?
a map.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no, not as easily as it makes sense for you. Zach's just like, get through the story.
No, it definitely.
I'm just kidding. Geographically speaking, like, my dreams are not on the realm of, like, I couldn't pinpoint where they are. Like, are your dreams all, like, in real life places?
No, so I'll have a dream that maybe it's inspired by a place I used to spend a lot of time at in real life, but in the dream, this is a place that I've never been to. I don't recognize in real life.
But you can just feel where it is in relation to
in relation to other dreams that I've had. It's
Oh.
like when I dream, I always go back to the same, island, world, whatever. And I could point out all my dreams, like, oh, the dream I had on that day, that's there, and then that's there. And to get to that place, it's just a weird thing I have. I have synesthesia, so like
What's
colors. The letters of the alphabet have distinct colors to me. The numbers all have days of the week, months of the year. They have a very distinct texture, place, and color to me. It's just a weird thing. I think it ties into my dreams. But I swear I'm going somewhere with that because I know you hate the dream thing.
No, it's good.
So I would have kind of these dreams where, you're kind of with this crew and you're on this adventure, and things were so much cooler in my dreams. There was like a 4-dimensional element about them that was an intangible that I just never could quite grasp in my waking life. And it's like I was always searching for it, and that's why I wasn't happy. And I remember on the AT, we're coming out of Mountain Harbor, heading north towards Laurel Creek Falls in Tennessee. And maybe it was like all the caffeine and calories I had at the Mountain Harbor breakfast, because holy fuck, that place is amazing. I think I ate more food there than I did in like the 3 days leading up to it. But we're coming out of Mountain Harbor, and I'm walking north, and the crew I was with, Apple, Rafiki, and Spring Break, I hiked with them for about 1,000 miles on the AT. So the four of us, we had a very tight bond. And they're a little ahead of me because, I have a 60-pound backpack. I was always the caboose. So I'm going up Laurel Creek Falls, and it kind of opens up into that valley. And it was a beautiful day, and I was alone. I had a moment where I kind of like yelped or just kind of made like a primal like, ugh. And I'm, the tears start flowing, not like sobbing, but like epic tears coming down. And just the valley and knowing that they're a little bit ahead of me and this whole adventure I'm on, never before in my whole life have I felt that like, oh, this is what you dreamed about. That feeling you felt in your dreams that made you feel so good and made you feel like you were actually living something worth living, it hit me there in my waking life. And it was a feeling I'd never ever felt before. That feeling of whatever it is you're searching for, that X factor, like that was the first time I held it, like in both hands, and it filled me up.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because like, I got these tears coming down and I'm feeling good. And I compose myself and I keep hiking to go around the corner, and there's Apple and Rafiki standing there wiping their eyes. And they kind of looked at me and I looked at them and, did you feel it? And they're like, oh yeah. Then we caught up with Spring Break and he's wiping his eyes. So it was a moment we all felt together. I don't know if it was just the view of the valley. We all had the breakfast at Mountain Harbor. They might have put something in the breakfast, but it was a really cool shared moment we all had. And like you said, that feeling of what I was searching for, it climaxed at that moment. And from that moment on, I knew like I have found my place. I have found my people. And I'm going to finish this hike. This is what I'm here to do. Like I found what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I want to come back to the second part of the question, but something that you said there that I think is really interesting. Cause you went into the hike with the mindset of Katahdin or bust. And like very literally the bust was, like a realistic thing for you.
Yeah.
Like you were going to go, it sounded like down potentially a dark road if you didn't get to the goal. Did you feel like it was a struggle at all to get to Katahdin, or were you on cloud 9 for the full hike, or at least the majority of the hike?
I physically struggled. I mean, it was the hardest thing I'd ever done, probably still that I've ever done, because hot take, I think the AT is way harder than the PCT. I just finished the PCT, so like I can say that without people coming after me. Yeah. So I physically struggled very much so, but there was I never felt like I wanted to get off trail. There was a time Big Willie Dog and I were alone, and we were at I think where other people might have felt, I'm getting the fuck off this trail. We just like double zeroed and watched Judge Judy for like 48 hours in a hotel room. Like, and we did nothing but eat shit and like go out to get more food. Yeah. So like instead of zeroing, I would just sit there until I was excited to hike again, and then I would keep going. So I was mentally on cloud 9. I knew I was where I needed to be. Did that make it any easier physically? No. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I guess circling back to my very long-winded question previously is the elements of the hike that you've carried over. Like before you got to Katahdin, did you decide that like I'm now a serial thru hiker or an adventurer, or like what did you know that your future life would look like?
So I knew when I got to Katahdin, I tried it the same when I started from Springer, and I said to myself, I'm not going to pursue any identity. I want to just be open and let whatever happens, happens. It was kind of like the same thing on the opposite for Katahdin. I said, okay, I got to go back to the Muggle world now, maybe make some money, maybe just chill for a little while. But you don't have to go back to the Muggle world. You don't have to keep hiking. See what you want to do. Be open with it. And I mean, as with any long distance hike, for about 2 weeks, I was tired, and I kind of was wondering, am I going to be a Triple Crowner? I wonder. And I think within a week or two, I was like, yeah, like I definitely knew very early on I was not going to go back to the Muggle world, which Muggle, by the way, is non-magic folk. It's like the people in Harry Potter that can't use magic.
Yeah.
So I knew, like, Harry finds his place at Hogwarts. He's not going to, like, stop going to Hogwarts. As far as the hiking, being a serial thru hiker, I think it took me maybe a couple of weeks before I was like, yeah, I need to get back out there. But I hit up all my gearhead friends, like $1,000,000 and my buddy Double D. And Double D, especially, he's such a gearhead. He's making his own gear, and he's selling it, different dimension designs. So he made my buddy a backpack on the PCT, so he's doing great with that. But I hit these gearhead friends up that I had, and I said, look, I want to keep hiking. I like doing this, but you got to build me a lighter setup. And I had $1,000,000. He just said, if I were you, I would get this, and he laid everything out, and I just bought it. So now that I had a lighter setup, then I went and did the foothills, which I know you've done. I did that December, right after the AT hike that I finished in August. But as far as the elements that I took from the hike and wanted to carry over, there was that 2-week transitional period roughly where I was like, am I going to keep hiking? I don't know. And then I decided, yeah, I am. Even if I didn't keep hiking, I think what I learned about myself from the trail, and the one thing I found that I was actually really good at, and I think this ties into the Pied Piper name, was I could build tramways pretty well. I can figure out group dynamics, and I knew, like, okay, get a gearhead in here, get like I feel like, so you're somewhat familiar with Harry Potter, right?
Oh yeah, very.
So Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff,
Yeah.
Ravenclaw. I feel like on trail there's the stoners, the influencers, the athletes, and the lost souls, or like the adventurers. Those are like the 4 houses of thru hikers.
We had a conversation about this. Remember
Oh,
when we were
shit,
trying
This
to...
was a question of the day, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, so what are your 4?
Stoners,
Okay.
influencers,
Okay.
athletes,
Okay.
and like adventurers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm in the adventurer / lost soul, not like a negative lost soul, just like a drifter kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, learning that on the AT, like, kind of picking up on group dynamics and bringing that love of the trail to other people, like taking that from the trail. I mean, as you guys well know, after I finished the thru hike, like, you go off trail and like you're just so much more relaxed as a person. It was like after Vegas, like I was like, that was the first time I ever gotten laid, and I was like, wow, I needed that. And then after you finish the trail, you're like, wow, like you have more self-confidence and you feel good. And that ability that I discovered that I kind of had pretty well to sort of bring people together and like do that little Pied Piper call of like, hey, don't worry about the Muggle shit. Come hang out in the mountains and clear your mind and de-stress. That is something I definitely have carried with me off trail. And to, I mean, be it the PCT, which is like, the most recent long one I did, or any of the other ones I do, like, it's one of my particular joys I get out of thru hiking is like coming across people who are also hiking, whether they're day hikers or section hikers or other thru hikers, and exchanging trail magic, exchanging stories, but just playing up the camaraderie factor of it. That is, taking that from the trail has helped me in my Muggle life very, very much so, I think.
Do you feel like you're bound then to trails where there is a vibrant social community?
I wouldn't say bound, because on the PCT, it's definitely, I wouldn't call it a lonely trail, but it's much less social than the AT. And I actually, and this surprised me, I had most of the month of July, I was in NorCal. I was totally alone. I mean, I saw other hikers, but I wasn't with a tramway. I was hiking on my own schedule. I might see the same people like 2 or 3 days in a row, but then I'd move on. And I didn't mind that. I enjoyed it. Like, it was a good, do my own thing for a little while. But it was cool because on the AT, it's unavoidably social. Like, it's harder. If you're looking for that isolation, it's going to be harder on the AT.
Right.
On the PCT, if I came across people, because I came in having done the AT, a lot of folks out there, that was their first thru hike. So I'm a little bit chill. I have a little bit self-confidence and stuff like that. And if you see somebody who wants that isolation, I can respect that, and you just smile and you wave and give them their isolation. And if there's people who want to talk and chat and hang out, I have no problem doing that either. Like, being able to loosen up and because like where I started, the yes and the no, I can deal with the isolation. I had a month in NorCal by myself where I was alone, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't like, by the time I got up to Oregon and synced back up with people, I was ready to be in a group again. But then also when there's times on the PCT that there are people around, and sometimes, you know, you will come across a hiker and you can tell they're struggling. You know, you can tell somebody's having a bad day. And you never know what a smile can do for somebody. Like, you sit down and have a break. It was like I'd be hiking on the PCT, and especially in NorCal. I mean, you come down from the Sierras. It's hot. It's probably the most boring and grindy part of the PCT. And you'd come across somebody sitting down, and you knew they were having a rough time. And on the PCT, after what I learned from the AT and other hikes I had done, I could, even if I wasn't ready for a break, I would sit down too. And I'd be like, hey, how's it going? And if I got the vibe they weren't interested in chatting, I could just sit there with them and, you know, maybe they wouldn't feel so alone. And if they were into chatting, I wouldn't mind chatting with them for a while. Give them extra candy or something like that, and try to just brighten people's day as much as you can.
Yeah.
Because, like, sometimes, again, you never know. Like, I'd be having shit days on trail where you're like, what am I doing out here? But then, like, somebody will come up, like a day hiker, and they're like, oh, are you through hiking? And that's all you need to make it, to turn your whole day around.
You're like an on-trail counselor.
I like to, I think the if I could sum up in one image what I try to take from each trail, eventually I'd like to be like the Peter Pan of one of any, like, on any given trail, you might see Vegas just kind of floating around, Peter Pan style, like, hey, what's up, man? Just haunting various trails, brightening people's days.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I would like to see myself as.
Love that. Okay, so you pick up the job with the AMC after the AT. Is that how you're making ends meet? Is the money from that?
Yeah, so the first big chunk, two things. Selling my house, I got a big, nice chunk of equity, like not renting and having the mortgage helped. And then I also worked a job, which I would encourage anybody that is interested in a thru hike to check. You guys know what an ESOP is? Mm-hmm. It's Employee Stock Ownership Program. The company I worked for was like owned by the employees. So in addition to your health insurance, 401k, a benefit you get is stock in the company. And after, I think the first year you're 20% vested, and then the second year 40. So after 5 years, you're 100% vested in this stock. So I worked at this company for 5 years, and then there's like a 2-year waiting period, but then they cash out your stock and give it to you. So I got a check for $40-something thousand.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that'll fund a lot of hiking.
Yeah. And I only worked there 5 years. So there were these guys that had gone to a 6-month VOTEC trade school thing out of high school, worked there 40 years, and retired as millionaires easily.
Wow.
So anybody listening wants to work for 5 years and do a thru hike, check out an employee-owned job, because you can. That so the equity from my house and then the ESOP check really helped.
Is there like a job network website? Like, where do you find one of these gigs?
Any company I've seen, they'll advertise their employee owned.
Okay.
Like it's one of their big selling points. So
Yeah.
if you Google ESOP companies, you could probably find something.
Okay.
But so that was the big chunk that helped me get started. As far as maintaining it, just kind of like, I usually end up working about 6 months out of the year and dicking around the other 6 months.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah. Okay. So working for the AMC, jumped down to the Foothills Trail in December.
Yeah. So the Foothills Trail was right before the AMC.
Okay.
I did that December 23, like after the AT. I love that trail. Well, I did it with my buddy Sprinter, who I met on the AT. We did it, I guess, like 3.5 days. We got dropped off day one kind of late in the day. Did like a 16. Then we did 2 24s and then ended with like another 16, I think. And we finished by like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. But I mean, you've hiked that. I thought it was a beautiful trail. Very well maintained.
Great off-season hike.
Yeah, like the shoulder season stuff. And you know what else is funny? You guys know on the AT, if you come to like a junction where there's like 2 trails you can take, you know damn well the AT's taking you up the steeper, the harder one. The Foothills Trail was like the person that like would hold you and be like, it's okay, because at the junctions you'd always take the easier one. You remember that?
Yeah. And I'd be like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
This is a blessing. Like, oh my God.
I remember that. Like, you come to 2 things and you're just like, God damn it. But the Foothills was always the easier one.
Yeah.
So.
I remember there was one spot where it was like I could see the stairs going up, and I'm like, oh, this fucking sucked, like the whole way I'm walking up to it. And then I saw the little arrow, and I was like, this never happens.
Oh, yeah.
Never happens.
You're checking far to make sure, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
I'm safe now? Like, so, yeah, that was a beautiful trail.
Did you get any spooky vibes from the Foothills Trail?
Damn, no, but now I kind of want to go back and do it. in like the Halloween season. Did you?
Just like a little bit around Lake Jocassee, and we've heard from other people that they have had spooky encounters around Lake
Like
Jocassee.
paranormal or like homeless people?
No, like paranormal. Like there's a
Damn.
campsite on Lake Jocassee that's near a abandoned graveyard or like an old graveyard. Or something.
Yeah, okay.
And I didn't know that. I ended up camping at that spot, but when I was passing the graveyard, I could hear like all this rustling in the bushes, and I hadn't heard anything like leading up to it that day.
Wasn't that when you pooped in the mountain house bag? Because you might have pissed the ghosts off. That's what that was.
No, because that would have been after I heard it. I forgot I did that.
So it literally scared the shit out of you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe. I think it might have been that.
laxative.
It might have been that campsite that I did it. I forgot I pooped in a
Damn.
mountain house bag.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get spooky vibes, but the Halloween, October season, that'd be a great time to hike that trail.
Yeah.
Like, make it a haunted house hike. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
I've heard there's a lot of ticks in the summer, so off season seems like
Oh,
the way
yeah.
to go.
That part of the country, like, I'm not going to hike in the
Human,
summer. Hell
yeah.
no.
So at what point do you find yourself on the Ozark Highlands Trail?
So that was, so Foothills was December 23. January to like March, I worked for the AMC. Jumped over, went to trail days, had you guys sign my chest. We actually did a 42-mile day into trail days, from boots off to trail days. Like, we just said, let's fucking go. We did a 40. At the time, that was my biggest day. I've since broken that record. But then I went to Montana, and I worked they gave us 2 dry cabins, me and my buddy Double D. We worked there. It's like a lodge that you could kind of book. It was just outside of Yellowstone.
Dry cabins?
Yeah, like no running water, but it did have electricity. That place was awesome. Like, I mean, 3/4 of my job was like cleaning cabins, and the other part was like being the janitor for the bar at the lodge. But like, everybody was high all day. I was the only dude that like wasn't high, and it was just listening to your headphones and like slowly cleaning all day. Easiest job ever. I smashed so many episodes of Backpacker Radio while I was out there. And in between that, I took a 3-ish weeks off, and I did the West Highland Way in Scotland, and then immediately flew from Scotland to Alaska. The jet lag sucked ass, and that's when I did my Alaska expedition thing. And then the Ozark Highlands was in November.
Okay.
After all that, so there's a lot we can get into there.
Yeah, let's connect some dots. How long is the flight from Scotland to Alaska?
Probably 12-ish hours, maybe
Is it
more.
nonstop?
Yeah. No, I had a layover in Dublin, and then I went and had another layover in Seattle, and then I went to Alaska. But the layovers were never more than like an hour or 2 long.
Yeah.
So it was...
Yeah, take us to this Alaska expedition.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So it's funny because I did the Alaska thing right after the West Highland Way, which the West Highland Way was pretty chill because, like, you could make it like a Camino-style thing where you're in a B&B every night at 10-mile days, easy peasy. But I did it with Green Man and I, the guy that named me. And we did it in like 3 days in dirtbag the whole time. But we still had lunch in like a pub every day. So like it was cool. And because it was a relatively easy trail, my self-esteem is so high coming out of the West Highland Way. So I'm like, now it's on to Alaska. Let's go fuck some shit up. And so it was with Million Bucks and Rafiki, 2 guys I met on the AT. And then Rafiki had 2 friends. I gave them the trail name Grenade, who's the guy, and Shortles. That was his partner, who's a female. Grenade and Shortles. And they were, Rafiki, Grenade, and Shortles are all professional guides, like expedition guides. So they're, I'm in good hands. Like, they're guides. I don't have to like worry too much. They're going to do all the thinking here. So we fly from, I think it was Anchorage, into King Salmon, Alaska, which is a much smaller like port town. And then from King Salmon, we get on like legit this like 5-person James Bond buoy plane, and we go to Katmai National Park, where all the grizzly bears are. That's where the dude got eaten. And he left the camera on. You've heard of that, right?
Grizzly Man?
Yeah. That's where this happens. And we're here during the salmon run. So we get dropped off like in the water. And I'm talking like, this is like the pilot's right there. We all have headsets on. There's like 5 of us on the plane. It's kind of intense. And I'm like, shit, like this is cool. So we get dropped off on the water. We have to walk across this boardwalk, and then we do a 15-minute thing on bear safety. And then we camp in Katmai the first night, like at a tent site behind like a electrical wire fence. And the next morning, we're going to take a 2-hour bus ride to the desolate valley. But we get to watch the bears do the same in the morning. And like, let me tell you, like, once you leave the safety of that electrical wire fence and you're like watching the grizzly bears, it takes like a good 45 minutes for your butt to unclench. Because you're like, there's 20 grizzly bears right around me. They're right there.
Wait, can you explain the safety fence to me again?
Yeah,
I'm like trying to picture it.
where you're tenting, it wasn't quite tent city, but it was where people were camping, and there was a food locker and stuff. It had a wire around it that was like electrified.
Oh.
So like the bears, I mean, they say to you the bears can't get in because if they touch it, it's gonna zap them. So you're in theory safe.
If you touch it, would it zap you?
Oh, I'm sure.
Is that enough to discourage a grizzly? I feel like.
I wondered about that,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to ask too many questions.
Sure.
Like,
Interesting.
because I mean, when I was in Montana, that's the Beartooth Mountains. That's prime grizzly territory. If we did the whole Double D and I, we would do the whole triangle, like eat here, store your food here, camp here.
Mm-hmm.
And I never had a problem with grizzlies. So
Is this like a fence, or is it just like a wire?
no, it's just like a single wire.
Just a single wire.
Yeah,
So the bear could just hop over it.
I want to say it was at a height where he couldn't. I'm sure it would hit him at some point if he was like lumbering over it bear style.
Yeah.
It would probably hit him. But then what if he's on the inside and he gets hit and it pisses him off and now he's inside?
He's
Like,
Right,
we're
exactly.
fucked
Now
at
you
that
can't go
point.
back outside.
That was more of a
Okay.
mental thing. that
Now I can see it in my head a little better.
I mean, I'm still alive, so spoiler alert, no
Yeah.
bears attacked us. But so we saw the grizzly bears doing the salmon run. And once you get over that butt clench, the grizzly bears are really funny. They have personality. Like we saw two, not baby bears, but like adolescents, like get on their hind legs and like fight each other and bite each other like playfully. Like it was cool. So we do that, and then we take this bus, 2-hour bus ride, with like these huge ass 4x4 wheels going over rivers and shit, into this valley, and I think it's a valley between two active volcanoes. I have pictures I can send you guys. It's like being on the moon. I mean, it was. Some of the walls you can see smoke coming out of it, like steam, and it's all just so desolate. There was water there, but I mean, literally imagine walking on Mars or like the moon. And there was no designated trail. I think like less than a certain number of people had like ever even set foot there. I think we got the okay to do this because like Rafiki and Grenade knew some rangers who gave us like, I think, don't quote me on that. But so we kind of had an in to do this. So we do this loop, and it's just kind of like route finding, like a 60-mile expedition thing. But on like day 3, that was the closest to death I've ever been because like, so there's a glacier we got to go up, and we're putting our spikes on, going up 50 feet and then sliding down. Like we're having fun, but you slide right down like, whew. And so with that in the back of your head, now it's time to go up and walk. So we're walking. I want to say we get up a couple hundred feet, and it's just straight down ice like behind you. There was one time I turned on to get a picture, and I looked down and I was like, oh, hell no. And I turn around, and I'm like, I don't like this. But, I mean, we never had any harrowing moments there. We were able to climb up okay. But had one of us slipped, it would have been straight down, like, at least a couple hundred feet. So the tight butthole is already in effect. So we get to the top of this ridge, and it's kind of like a knife's edge. It's maybe as wide as 2 of these tables, but on either side is hundreds of feet straight down. And we're up there, and the winds start to hit about 50 to 60 miles an hour. And we're getting knocked around. And $1,000,000 and I, again, we're more on the backseat on this thing. $1,000,000 is like 53. He's got 2 kids in their 20s. So he's like trail dad. And he's like, I don't like this. And we're kind of following the lead of Rafiki and Grenade and Chortles because they're the guides. And they turn around and they kind of holler over the wind like, yep, we got to get down. So once the knife's edge starts to kind of widen out on either side, so we get off this path, and we're just on like the side of this mountain. And we're walking forwards, and we get to a place where, like, as we're walking forward, to my right is uphill a good 45 degrees, and to my left is downhill 45 degrees. And the downhill 45 degrees goes about 100 feet, and then it's a cliff for probably about another 100 or 200 feet. And as we're walking, we're knee-deep in mud, like post-holing. So you're squelching your leg out of the mud to get knee-deep in mud again. And again, to my left is the abyss, and it starts mudsliding. And we start sliding towards the abyss. And that was scary. $1,000,000 turned around and looked at me, and he gave me a look that I'll never forget. Like, is this it? And I mean, I can laugh. That was like type 3 fun. Like, I could laugh now. But there was it wasn't long, maybe about a minute or two when we were all, well, $1,000,000 and I were like, are we about to die? Like, because we're like sliding towards the cliff. And Rafiki and Grenade, to their credit, and Chortles, they did a great job as guides because we all ended up linking arms and kind of following in a pattern. And we were able to hike enough downhill where we had to jump the last part. And like Rafiki sliced his hand open on a glacier taking that landing. We made the landing okay. We were banged up, but nobody died. And they told us later that I saw Rafiki and Grenade kind of having a talk between the two of them. They almost SOS'd on their Garmins. But to their credit, they got us out of there. And I was like, had I been guiding that? Oh, hell no. I was like, they kept very, very cool heads. I was impressed with that.
I'm picturing the scene from Toy Story 3. Maybe
when they're going towards the fire.
Yeah,
no, it was almost like that.
Yeah.
Like I almost just grabbed $1,000,000's hand and said, "Let's
this is the end. We're going down
yeah,
together."
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So that happened, and then on the way out to get out of this little loop, there was this. This is like 2 days later. There was a little river thing you had to jump over. They call it the jump. And looking at it, it's only like maybe from here to here, like 3-4 feet. Like you look at it, you're like, I can jump that, no problem. But on inside of it is maybe a 15-foot drop with like raging white water. And so we're thinking like, well, we don't want to miss that. That'd be bad. And Rafiki and Matt, I remember them saying like, don't miss that jump. But that's all they would say. So Rafiki throws his backpack across. He jumps across. And then one by one, we toss him our backpacks. We jump across. And you kind of had to hype yourself up a little bit. Like, here we go. And then you make the jump. But then I find out later, and I'm glad I didn't know this at the time, that the Rangers, according to their logs, everybody who's missed that jump has died. So that was a jump of like, if you miss this,
jump.
Yeah, if you miss this, you're gonna die. I didn't know that at the time. I mean, I knew like
how far is the jump?
It was not. It was like from jumping from this side of the table to this side.
Okay,
like it wasn't hard. You look at it and you're like, oh, that's fine. But then you see the raging white water, and I remember them saying like, don't miss that jump, and that's all they would say. And then the Rangers later on, like, I'm glad I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, sure.
But that was like more expedition style stuff than hiking. And like I had a blast, but that is maybe like a once every year or two kind of thing for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was pretty
Even
intense.
that sounds a little frequent for me.
Oh yeah, it was.
That's probably above my pay grade as well.
Yeah. I was probably a little bit out of my element there. I mean, I had a blast. I was following them, and I would do something like that again, definitely. But
who'd have thunk that the Grizzlies were the least scary part of the
Yeah.
trip?
oh yeah, that was but far and away the least scary thing.
Yeah.
But that was the summer of 24, and then to get back to your original question, the Ozark Highlands was then in November.
Okay.
So that was a couple months after that.
Where do we get to the grape story? Because I want to hear this one.
So I did the Sheltowee in 2 parts. I did the first like half of it in April of 24, and the second half of it just before the Ozark Highlands actually. And so the second half of it, I had parked my SUV at like my finish line and then shuttled back to the beginning. And I hike over a couple days. And actually Snake Daddy or Witcher, he lives nearby. He had injured his foot, so he couldn't hike. But every night he met me at different campsites and trail magic me. And I got to hang out with him. It was awesome. And then the very last day, he had to go back to work. And I ended up doing a 34 or so back to my SUV at night. And I'm feeling, 34. I'm feeling pretty good, feeling like a badass. I'm night hiking. I just made it back to my SUV, just finished Sheltowee. Like, hell yeah. And so it was November, so it's like full dark, but it's like 6:40 or something like that. And I drove to some bum Walmart in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky. And I just finished the hike, and I just done a 34. You got to get your calories back. So I get a hot rotisserie chicken and a whole bag of grapes. And I go and I plop right down outside the Walmart. That's the hiker move. You sit outside the Walmart. I eat the rotisserie chicken with my hands. But I also eat the whole bag of grapes. And it was good. Like, I got my vitamin C. And I go, my SUV just has a bed in the back of it. So I go, I'm in the Walmart parking lot. I go lay down. I fall asleep. I wake up, and it's like, 1 a.m. It's one of those, like, open one eye, check your phone, what time is it? And I go to sneak a fart, and I shit myself. Like, I shit myself bad. Like, it was solids and liquids came out. And I go from one eye open to, like, being wide awake, like, fuck! And I holding the shit in my underwear, I crawl out to my front seat, and I'm, like, trying to do it so that shit doesn't leak out.
Yeah, right.
And I open my door, and I get down, and it's, like, 1 a.m., there's nobody else in this Walmart parking lot but me. So I drop my pants and I start wiping. And it occurs to me that, like, if little Vegas at age 6 said, this is you at age 30-something, wiping your ass in a Kentucky Walmart with nobody else around at 1 a.m., I'd be like, oh, I'm into drugs or something.
Yeah, right.
Like, this is terrible.
Little did you know that you're the happiest guy in the world.
Yes, exactly. Like, it's like you screenshot that and you're like, where did you go wrong? But I'm also like, no, I'm so happy and so free right now.
So do you attribute the blame to the grapes?
Oh, hell yeah. I've learned my lesson. When I eat, because I feel like the epitome of trail food you can't get on trail is like a hot rotisserie chicken and like fresh berries. But you got to be real careful with the berry game. Yeah. Because it will make you shit yourself.
Yeah. It gets my kids, so I guess that makes sense. I don't think I've ever consumed fruit to the point that's making me shit myself, but maybe goals.
You should try it sometime.
Also, those bags of, like, I'm picturing like the 2 pound.
Oh, yeah. It was a huge bag of grapes.
That's an insane, like, that's just dedication, because I get frustrated with having to pick it out. And,
like, these days I actually go more for, like the little clear plastic bowls that have like the strawberries, the raspberries, the blackberries. I'll do that. Yeah. Because that's like the right amount, and I don't get the shits from that. Sure. So, yeah. So that's the Sheltowee shit story.
Chaunce strategically ditched out when she saw.
I had to pee.
You don't like shit stories?
Well, I needed to hear the end of the Alaska stories. That one I was yeah. There's no lull here.
I also have to.
All right, cool. Ozark Highlands Trail. What do you think of it?
My first thought coming out of that is, you being as short as you are, how did you do that in high water season?
I don't know. I didn't know it was high water season. I just wanted to get away from my desk.
You're a trooper. Because like, we did it in November, which is like low water season, and it's my buddy GT, who again, he's like, he and his wife work for the State Department, so they're or something like that. But they move around every 5 years, and he's in Tanzania right now. But like twice a year, his wife is like 2 to 3 weeks, go pick a hike, and so he said, let's do the Ozark Highlands, or maybe I pitched it, but that's the one we settled on. The water crossings were kind of not super gnarly, but we did it in low water season, and I still thought like, damn, this is not nothing.
Did you know about the water going into it?
I had listened to actually the episode where you talked about it, and then also the one where Tim Ernst was on. I listened to both of those.
See, because I agreed to do the Ozark Highlands Trail with Fireball, and then we had Tim on. So I was like, great, this will be great prep for it. And so as he's talking to us about it, I'm like, oh, how interesting. Like, tell me more. And then I got home and I called her. I was like, we got to have a call with this dude.
How did you have to like inflate a thermarest and like float across? So like, how did you get across some of those?
No. So the thing about the Ozark Highlands Trail was it was either fast and not deep comparatively to others, or it was slow moving and deep. Like there was one in the beginning where it was like neck deep.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, but that was slow moving. I did that one after sunset.
Did you hold your back? Thank you. Did you hold your backpack like above your head, or?
Yeah, I had everything. I was holding everything up, and you can see like when I'm recording it, like kind of how the water just like starts to go as I'm like trekking pulling it. Like you can see the trekking poles just go under, but that one was slow moving. So like it was pitch black when I did that one. But it was so slow moving that I was like, if I slip, I'm swimming in a pool, you know? Yeah. But Hurricane Creek was the main hard one, and that was like the fast moving one. And
we actually did that one at night in the dark.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
and I remember afterwards we were like, that sucked. Why did we do that?
For that one, I had to be patient finding the right spot.
Yeah.
But
again, I mean, I think what I remember Tim Ernst saying is like the November, fall, that's low water.
Yeah.
And again, like that was not nothing when we did it. It wasn't like we didn't have anything harrowing happen, but I would say that was probably the biggest. I mean, other thing on the Ozark Highlands Trail, it was so. GT and I felt like it was the apocalypse, because like we saw 4 humans like the whole time.
Yeah, there's like no one.
It was very isolated. We shipped our food drop to that post office, like a half mile off trail. So we saw the post office lady. We saw this one hiker, Oklahoma was his trail name. He was pretty cool. He gave me a bunch of shrooms, and then I lost him. That pissed me off. And then I think we might have seen a trail maintainer, and then at a campsite, we saw these 2 people living out of their van who trail matched. They made us like burritos or something.
Nice.
But like that was the only people we saw. So it was a very... It was an isolated vibe. It had a death march vibe towards the end. Yeah. But we did the original length plus 40 miles. So we did Lake Fort Smith. Is that like the beginning? And then we parked my SV at Dillard's Ferry. And shuttled back to Lake Fort Smith. So it was about 204 miles we did in like 8 days. Yeah. So we had a pretty good pace.
Yeah.
But again, it being just us made it have an interesting vibe.
What did you do for your feet? Did you take off your shoes at every water crossing, or did you bring water shoes? There was just so much of them.
There's a point. If I know I have one I carry Crocs on the back of my backpack for camp shoes. If I know I'm going to have like that one water crossing, I will stop and take my shoes off. But if it's like rapid fire, like on the PCT in the Sierras, if it's rapid fire fuck it, I just walk with my shoes. They were on the AT. First thing in the morning, we would dunk our shoes in water to get it over with.
Well, so that's what
Like,
I
that was-
started
yeah.
doing because I was like, at this point, like I only have so much daylight. Like the
Right,
sun sets
yeah.
at 6.
Just
you know,
get it
like
over
I
with.
need to not be taking a break every time I get to
Oh,
each
yeah.
side of this water crossing because there's so many of them. So then I would go through with my shoes on with that mentality, but I had never had foot problems the way I had in terms of like it looked like on the side, like this side of my foot.
Yeah.
Like it looked like you took an ice cream scoop and you scooped out a chunk of skin, and it was just like red and raw and like deep.
like open wound.
Because it would blister, and then
Oh.
the blister would heal and then come off, like you know, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
heal, and then it would just get deeper each time. And my
Okay,
theory is
so-
just because my feet were never dry.
So, have you ever
I'll
used
find
sock
you a
liners?
photo. I had a pair of waterproof socks. I've used Injinji sock
The
liners.
Injinji toe sock liners. So what I do is
yeah, the toe
Injinji
socks
toes,
under the Darn Toughs.
Darn Toughs, and then I use Topo Ultra Ventures. That's my forever shoe.
Okay.
And I don't have foot problems very much. I got trench foot on the AT, but that was because I was wearing like Solomon boots, and it was like super super wet.
Yeah.
My feet looked. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because for this trail I tried out Hokas because I'd never used Hokas, and Hokas were like becoming a thing. And I thought,
liked-
I'll try them.
The Speed Goats, the toe box is too small. Otherwise, I love those shoes.
Yeah.
See, I don't. It's hard for me to say because I'm like, did I not give them a fair shot because my feet were wet, or is it because it's a different shoe from the Topos and the Ultras that I'm used to?
Yeah.
Where here, this is that's like a flash.
Oh my
on.
God.
That's one part of it. Hold on. This is
Only-
like you can see
what
how
is it, only
swollen my
feet?
foot is
I was
too.
like, oh, what? Oh.
A little balloon
It's
foot.
swollen, yeah.
That's a little balloon.
Was that just from it being wet?
No,
That's what
that
she said.
the balloon feet was from like being on them all day, like when you're finally not on them.
Oh, yeah.
But then this was just like healing, coming off, healing, coming
Oh.
off. Let me see if I have
Yeah,
any
no, I
others.
didn't have that problem. That sucks.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So you liked it? Would you do it again?
No.
Yeah.
Well, there was nothing. Who was? You had somebody on, might have been Mega Man, when you asked him what his least favorite trail was, and he said the Ozark Highlands. I busted out laughing when I heard that because,
Yeah.
like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just.
It's not the best.
It's just pretty bland. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's very isolated, and it has like Southern AT vibes. So if you like that Georgia, North Carolina stuff, and you do want to go out there to be on your own, that I would highly recommend it. Because it was pretty for me. It's like, even though it's the Midwest, it had like East Coast Green
Yeah.
Tunnel vibes.
Yeah.
And the water was pretty. That color.
Oh yeah, it
blue.
was pretty. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, GT and I got separated once, and like he didn't have a Garmin. I did, but it's like I thought he was pooping, and then he left, and I thought he was ahead of me. Turns out I got ahead of him, so we were separated for the whole day. But yeah, other than that, and I was pissed off at one point because I was like out of food, and it had rained the day before, so I still had my rain clothes on, so I'm like sweating going up this hill, and GT filmed me. I'm screaming like, this trail's gonna fucking give me diabetes because I'm like using all my sugars to get up this hill, and then I'm gonna get my resupply and eat like a whole bunch of sugar. My sugar's gonna be out of whack. Like, Tim Ernst, you can go fuck yourself. I hate this trail. Like, but no, it was fun. Tim Ernst sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, he was nice. Did you see any hogs?
I know, but I have on the Florida Trail,
Ah.
which I've only like set foot on that once or twice. I haven't done a lot of hiking there. That's the only time I've ever seen wild hogs.
Interesting.
We didn't have any. We saw an armadillo on the Ozark Highlands.
That's the one
That's
thing I
the-
wanted to see on the
You
Foothills
didn't
Trail.
see one? We saw a shit ton of
No,
them.
I didn't see one.
Well, yeah,
Same thing
on
with the
Ozark
Foothills Trail. I
Highlands,
was
yeah.
excited to see one and I hadn't.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't. That was it for my wildlife encounters. That was a pretty standard. Nothing super crazy happened. It was just the vibe was like it was just GT and I, so it had a bit of an apocalyptic death march kind of vibe.
Well, I think because there's so few people on it, it's kind of just like a put your head down and hike
Yeah.
type of trail.
And you get so zoned out because you're so out of it. Like GT, like the second to last day, it's like nighttime. We go to get water. He like takes his backpack off and like throws it down, but he throws it right into a huge pile of bear shit.
Oh no.
So that was. So then I filmed him like, God damn it, like cleaning his backpack off. So that was funny. But yeah, I mean, it was, again, I would recommend it to somebody if you like the Southern AT and you want to do your own thing, definitely. Like if you want to do it with a crew, like set the crew up because you're not going to see anybody else out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So PCT was this year.
Yep. April 28th to September 14th.
At what point did you know you were going to hike the PCT?
Probably 2 weeks after I finished the AT.
Really?
Well, so I knew I figured 23 AT, 24 save up some money, knock out some smaller trails, and then 25 I'll do the second of them. And the plan is 26 work and do some smaller trails, and 27 do the third one for the Triple Crown. And that's over my dead body that doesn't happen. So I knew I was going to do one of them this year. And my buddy Scroto is his trail name. He was Frodo on the AT.
Yeah, there's got to be a story here.
Yeah.
So at Harper's, there's like, what is there, like 64,178 Frodos every year.
Yeah.
So he's at Harper's Ferry, and he wears like the short chicken legs. And I feel like you know where this is going.
Good idea.
So at Harper's Ferry, he gets his picture taken, and he squats down to tie a shoe, and just his scrotum pops out.
Oh, it's always
And
so funny. When
the
that
old lady at
happens.
the ATC straight up goes, "Hey, Scroto, your picture's ready." And he was like, he had thought about going by Strodo, like Strodo. Like that's like what his Instagram is. Because like, again, there's so many Frodos, he kind of had to do his own thing. But once he was called Scroto, there's no way we're not calling him that.
Scroto is a great name.
It
And
is a
his
name.
full trail name, because remember I told you we have like, I'm Vegas the Pied Piper. His is Master Scroto the Dry Dreamer. Because like, he doesn't have wet dreams, he has dry dreams, apparently. I'm putting
What's a
his
dry?
business.
Define a dry dream.
It's a wet dream where nothing comes out, I guess. Because
Does something come out in a wet dream?
Nocturnal emissions.
Yeah.
You come in your sleep.
Oh, I thought a wet dream was just like you have a sexual dream.
No, you wake up and there's a
That's-
fucking mess. you
No
gotta clean
way.
up.
That's
Oh,
a,
yeah.
That's a dry dream. What you're describing. A wet dream is where you complete the mission.
It's-
Shut up!
dude,
You've
it
woken up and
sucks.
you've just had like.
Oh,
It's been a
okay.
long time, but yes, I have.
Oh, no, this is still
Shut
Nice.
this is
up!
still a problem for me.
Really?
And first
How
day-
often does it
first-
happen?
Once a month, maybe.
Once a month.
It sucks.
That's nice.
Well, you know what's first night in the Sierras, it got below freezing. I woke up and it was like a
Frozen
mess.
to your dick.
Yeah.
Shut up!
And it like they heard me go like fuck as I'm like trying to like
Peel it off.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, it
They
sucks.
should make like ultralight cum diapers for backpacking. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
I gotta figure out something to fucking
You
oh.
just gotta sleep with a condom on.
I guess, but what the fuck, man? That sucks. Like, I don't want to do that. And it was funny because later on, Swampy, this guy, I was like, he comes up to me, he's like, "What happened to you this morning? You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." Don't I'll tell you later. But so anyway, so Scroto, we got on a tangent. So Scroto and I, he says I'm in for 2025, and we actually had a very small window of permit dates we wanted for the PCT. And we actually kind of had a chat, and we said, all right, here's what we're going to do. If we can both get a permit in this date range, we'll do the PCT. Otherwise, we're going to SOBO the CDT. So start like late June, early July. And there was a good month or so where like the whole tramway, we have lots of group chats we're in. Okay, Vegas and Scroto are doing one of them. They just don't know which one. We were going to have a gender reveal party. Like, one color for PCT, another for CDT. Because the first round of permits in October, we got fucked. Like, it was the end of the day. I think I snagged, like, March 8th or something just to have that permit in case I wanted to trade. But I was like, there's no way I'm going to start March 8th. But we both ended up getting April 28th as our start date. And because it was so perfect for us, we said, okay, we'll do the PCT this year. So, yeah, he's in Cincinnati. So I left my SUV that I live out of, left it at his house for the duration of the PCT. We flew out to San Diego. Cleef? It's like 0.3 miles into the trail.
Is that the campground?
Yeah. So we stayed there it was a Monday that we started. So we stayed there Sunday night. Got our hang tags from Kidska. She's working as a crest runner. She's pretty cool. She had done the AT and PCT also. So it was cool to make friends day zero kind of a thing. We stayed at Cleef, and then day one we hiked the 0.3 backwards, touched the monument, got our pictures, and then the adventure continues. PCT starts. And that was first couple of days were very surreal, very magical. Like, oh my God, I'm back here doing it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It's just a quick side interjection. This new wet dream lesson I've learned.
I have one more for you also
Oh,
after
please
this.
do.
Okay.
This is just like it's building my case for why it would be funny as fuck to do a guy stuff episode.
Sure.
And I know
I
we've talked
would-
about how maybe we won't have enough material there, but I
Yeah.
think if you and Jabba approach this from an angle of what might Chaunce not know,
I think Cuckoo's coming back through sometime soon. So
if all three of you just taught me about guys on trail,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think this would
man.
be wonderful.
For sure.
I would love to be a part of
Because
that.
there's so much that I just don't know,
Yeah.
apparently.
I didn't realize. I thought everyone knew about wet dreams, but I'm a guy.
Well, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know girls had 3 holes
Yeah,
until
right. You don't know what you
what,
don't
how
know.
many months ago?
I know.
Yeah.
There's like a front butt, there's butt, and then I don't know what the other
So
one
what
is.
is, sorry, not to just derail this back to that, but what do you do when you wake up and you're on trail and you've just got your spunk all over you? Like, is it the same thing as shitting your
the
pants
first
where you're like,
thing-
I'm fucked?
No, I think shitting my pants would be worse.
Because
Does it smell?
Yeah. So there was a guy, Blacklight. That's how he got his trail name.
No.
Yeah. he was like, dude, you're gonna need a Blacklight to clean all that up. And so he tells people like I was a detective, but that's not how he got his trail name. He got his trail name because he had like a big ass wet dream on trail. And, but so to answer your question about what do you do, I mean, you're like son of a bitch, but I have a designated rag, the cum rag.
It's your third sock.
No, it's not a sock. It's actually the PCT bandana they gave you at
PCT bandana is your
Kennedy
cum rag?
Meadows. Yeah. So you wake up, you just kind of dry it off. The one in the Sierras where it was frozen to me, and I had to it was like ripping a Band-Aid off. Like that hurt. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, that's bad.
Oh yeah.
What's the
Over
other
the-
story you
over
said
the
you had
beehole?
for me?
Oh, the Blacklight. That's how Blacklight
the
got his
Blacklight,
trail name.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a great trail name.
Yeah,
Like,
sorry
Yeah,
to
for sure.
sorry to bring us back
Yeah,
there, but
no.
it's more for
No,
the
yeah,
daughter. We should do a guy stuff episode.
So and yeah.
It would be
PCT,
funny
yeah.
to approach people on trail with a black light and
Oh my
throw
god.
them under the bus that
Oh,
way.
I would run. I'd be like, don't look at me.
Well, now I'm like, have I been I've been in relationships. I've lived with guys. Have I slept next to a guy and like maybe this has happened and I just don't know.
I feel like Garrett would tell you if he's had one.
I'm not talking just Garrett. Like he's not the only guy I've ever dated.
guy.
Well,
Guys, yeah.
for the record, I also do feel like you said, I don't think it's quite normal for me to be having them at my age. I think it's not, I don't think it's unhealthy, but it's normally something, from my understanding, that it's like a puberty thing.
Oh.
That was the peak for me. But I mean,
Yeah.
I definitely had him way past puberty. It's just like when you're too horny and your body can't contain it, you just gotta jizz at night.
I texted my dad once, like, what do I do about this? And he's like, it's gotta get out somehow. And I was
Yeah.
like, ugh, thanks, Dad. Like,
Yeah.
So if you jerked off more, would it happen less?
If we're really going there, my doctor has told me you need to jerk off more. Because
Really?
otherwise, yeah.
Interesting. What does your doctor suggest the appropriate amount of jerk off time is?
Good question.
Thank you. I asked the hard hitters here.
If I don't, okay, so do you guys know what the 14 state challenge is on the ATs? You have to beat off in every state.
No, I've never heard of that.
Have you ever? Did
No,
you?
I
Did you
was
do
not
it?
aware of it. I think Maryland might have been tough. No, West Virginia would have been tough.
You got to make
You're
a
in
pit
it for
stop
like
for
20
that.
minutes,
Yeah. That's a definite awkward privy stop in West Virginia.
Did you do the 14 state challenge?
Oh yeah.
Where'd you go? What did you do for West Virginia?
Probably I was in the
Dick
woods
on your
somewhere.
hand while you
Probably.
walk?
Yeah. I was probably shitting and then just. That's called, if you ever poop and then nut on top of it, that's called doing a Cracker Jack.
Do you bury your jizz?
On top of the poop, yeah.
But like when you're just recreationally jerking it?
Well, as for the record, that's doctor recommended.
Right.
So keep that in mind.
This is a
Right.
prescription.
Yeah.
Well, we've had
basically.
this conversation on the podcast
Well-
before. Is where do you where do you?
Yeah.
It's
That'll
not. Well, it's
lead
not
to
that. So it's
violation.
basically my doctor said I mean, you can either have the wet dreams or you can start making sure to make that homework every 4 or 5 days.
Right. But where
So-
do you just do it into a bush?
No, on top of the poop.
Oh, okay.
Are you
That-
always
that's-
jerking off
So
on
it's
the
like a
poo?
scheduled. It's like
No,
I'm gonna
no.
shit then jerk.
Sometimes it's if you're in your tent and you're kind of not super close to people. It's like, here we
Oh,
go.
yeah.
And then it's
Yeah.
just in the PCT bandana.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. I'm learning so much about boys.
I know. That boys episode. Let me know when you're doing it because I'll come to Denver for that. Dead ass.
I think it would be a great episode.
Yeah. I feel like we're learning a lot right now.
I sure am.
Yeah.
Okay, so we start the PCT
Yeah.
and it's great.
Oh yeah. Obviously, it's great. I had a wet dream on it.
Yeah, where do we go with PCD? So
I guess
obviously the ATU is transformational for you.
Yeah.
Are you looking to recreate that magic? Are you going in with expectations and what are they?
So I think I try to separate it in my head from you have the differences of the AT and the PCT. Cool. But then there's also your first thru hike versus your second thru hike.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. So the PCT felt more to me like I've already found myself. I found where I need to be. I found what I want to do. Now I come to the PCT in my element doing what I want to do. So it felt less of a soul-searching adventure and more like tackling a logistical operation. I know how to do this. Now let me do it. Let me do my thing. But that's not to say it wasn't magical. I mean, especially seeing other thru hikers where it was their first thru hike, it's like being a senior in a room full of freshmen. You have that kind of proud dad smile, man, you guys are about to go live that adventure. But I'm also not one, and I don't like people like this that come in and give advice.
Yeah.
I hate that. I'm happy to give you my thoughts on something if you want, but I have imposter syndrome really bad. So like if somebody asks me, I'm gonna be like, well, don't listen to me. But so, I just kind of watched the people it was their first hike. You watch them, and it's really cool to see them open up and live that experience. But for me, it being round 2 kind of a thing, there was more of a logistical element to it. Like, okay, like I don't have to discover myself anymore. Now it's like prove that you're out here and you belong here doing this. And it kind of vibed with that because I'd never really hiked in the desert like that before. I had a little bit, but 700 odd miles in the desert. If before the PCT, my guess would have been the desert would have given me more trouble than the Sierra. It was totally the opposite. LMNT sent me a free box, and I was pounding like 6 elements a day in the desert. I think that helped me because it was hot and I was sweating a lot, but I made it to the desert just fine. I did Hikertown to Tehachapi in one go. I did a 48, which that broke my 42 on the Appalachian Trail. It's not my record anymore. We'll get into that later. But so that doing stuff like that was fun, and it's a clickier trail, I guess. I think the shelters on the AT cause people to congregate, and there's almost like a who do you want to hike with? There's no tramway here. We're all at the shelter. The PCT was more like you have the group you're hiking with, you set up over here, there's another tramway over here, and you can be friendly and talk, but you camp with your own kind. It felt a bit more like that. But also, I'm sure as you guys have heard, this year was spectacular for the PCT.
Yeah.
It was a little bit below average snow-wise. The desert was a little cooler. I didn't have to skip anything. I didn't do a continuous footpath because at Wrightwood, it was either a 4-mile highway walk.
Frog closure?
Well, we did the official alternate around that.
Oh, okay.
But at Wrightwood, it was either a 4-mile walk on a yellow line highway or 3 miles down this dirt forest road to get picked up and then drop back off to do another 3-mile forest road walk.
Oh, yeah, because didn't they have a fire? Was it?
We were always just ahead or behind the fires. I never ran into a fire.
What was that alternate?
So it was because a bridge was out. It had been out for years. Do you guys remember hearing about that or anything?
No, I hiked out of Wrightwood.
Damn.
That was 2017.
Yeah,
so it was the only reason I didn't have a continuous footpath was because I chose not to do a 4-mile highway walk. Instead, it was longer. It was 2 miles longer, but it was dirt forest roads connecting back to the part of the Wrightwood it skipped. Yeah. But then from Wrightwood north, didn't have to skip a thing, which is unheard of.
Good year.
I'm very lucky.
For sure.
So yeah, that was, and then the Sierras. Like I said, the desert didn't give me as much trouble as I would have thought. The Sierras, we didn't have anything bad happen. I just had tight butthole the whole time.
Because of the water crossings?
No, the water crossings were not bad at all. I think the worst one, Evolution, because somebody died in that last year, I think. And when we went across, it was maybe thigh height for me, and it was fast, but I made it across okay.
Did you think the water crossings on the Ozark Highlands Trail were, how do you compare those to the Sierra?
I think the ones in the Ozark Highlands were worse.
Really?
For me. I'm sure in a different year that could be a whole different ballgame.
Right, yeah, absolutely. It depends on the snow.
Yeah.
But, I had done the JMT in September or August.
Oh, that's,
and so it was there was no water.
Late
right?
August, early September, yeah.
But I've always wondered after doing the Ozark Highlands Trail, how would this compare to PCT in regular season?
I think you might have had I don't think you're going to have anything worse than what you had on the Ozark Highlands Trail. If it's up to your neck, what?
Yeah, but that's slow.
Yeah, true.
Interesting. Okay, so you had a great Sierra.
Yeah, and we woke up at midnight and did Whitney for sunrise as a little side quest. That was magical.
But you said you were tight butthole the entire Sierra.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, going up Whitney, for example. There was boot pack on those switchbacks. The snow comes up to your knees, but then you look down. It was like Alaska flashbacks. You're going down I had an ice axe. Never had to use it. I hike with one trekking pole, just the one. So I kind of use my ice axe as the other pole for stability. But some folks they skip through the snow. They love it. They're all fast. Not me. I was kind of slow. Okay, don't look down. Whatever. It was beautiful. It was awesome. But I just was. That's the tight butthole stuff in the Sierras.
Yeah, I had vertigo on that part, and there was no snow for me because it was the JMT in August.
Yeah, I guess some of the switchbacks on Whitney, it's a pretty steep. Yeah, both y'all have done the JMT, right?
I did the JMT trail when I was hiking the PCT.
Okay, yeah,
I would jump back and forth.
Yeah.
Did you do Whitney?
No, I've done Whitney before, but not
okay.
hike.
Yeah, so those switchbacks can get pretty steep.
Yeah.
And then Forester, again, it was fine. It was just slow going up, slow going down. I'm like, damn, I glissaded once. It's like on my Instagram, I'm like doing a Tom and Jerry scream the whole way down, and people were laughing. And then Glenn and Mather. After Mather, it chilled out, I think, which I think that's the case for everybody. Mather's probably the last big one. But people don't talk about Mather. Like, going Nobo, like heading north, going up, it's like pretty, if you're walking on 2 feet, it's like the grade's easy, but it's just like death by switchback straight up. But I think because of how like the shade and the sun was hitting the south side of Mather, because we're heading north, it was like all snow over on the one side and like all switchbacks. So you can't walk it. You have to like straight up, hand over fist, climb it straight up. And so it's almost like a ladder. And if you turn around and look behind you, like, oh, hell no. Like, that's a steep drop. So I thought Mather was the dark horse nobody talked about. And then coming down, just, steep, and you don't have we had micro spikes, and again, nothing ever happened to us, but I was always scared somebody was going to slip, and there they go. So I learned about myself that I'm not crazy about the like mountaineering snow stuff. I would do it in like a dedicated group, but I much prefer the kind of hiking where you can just walk for 30 miles and zone out kind of thing.
Same.
But yeah, I mean, it was pretty and it was awesome, but that was my Sierras experience.
Yeah.
Any standout stories from the PCT, like the Colt on the AT or the grapes or the
The PCT, I think, kind of like how I said, felt a lot more logistical. There was less, like the AT had more shenanigans, I feel like. And I'm sure that's because there's more towns, more people. The PCT was more just kind of like get up, hike, do your thing. We had a good group. We had camaraderie, and I was alone in NorCal. I think the biggest, the more funnier times, like we did the 24-hour challenge. We did it into Timberline Lodge. We ended at Timberline. And like we woke up at 3. And I think we had done like 30 by 1 in the afternoon or something like that. So we're moving real good. And then comes time for the acid.
Is this the new highest mile hiking day?
Yes.
Sorry?
So I'm not going to name any names, but somebody gives me a double hit of acid. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm going to zone out. I'm going to hike. This is going to be good.
Is this your first acid experience?
No.
Okay.
In the Beartooth Mountains in Montana.
When you say give you mean like dosed you or?
He gave me 2 tabs,
Okay.
and I did them.
So you knowingly did the drug.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I said, give me 2 tabs of acid.
Got it.
And he's like, all right. And yeah, I had done acid before in the Beartooth. And that's like, like when Mario gets the star and he's like, da, 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 and he's like rainbow. That's what it's like. I accidentally hiked like 22 miles in Crocs that day. Like you're just passenger in your own body. You don't feel your own body, and like your brain is, it's like I have to return to my planet. Like it's. I mean, you guys have done shrooms, right? Are you kidding me?
I'm a good girl.
You are a good girl.
Sorry. But I did
Let's ask her off air.
lead a excuse me, I'm a good girl. But I did lead my trail family. There were certain people that did acid in the desert, and because I was the
hell
only one
yeah.
not doing it, I was like I was Mama Duck. I was
Yeah, you were
in
like
charge
trail mom. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Same thing happened on the AT. I got that role on Mount Washington where like I'm trying to guide all the ducks.
I would not do Mount Washington on drugs.
That one they did shrooms for. That one was funny because we saw people that we knew at the top of Mount Washington that had weed and that had shrooms and no weed. And there was someone in our group that had weed and no shrooms, and they were both looking for the opposite.
Oh, hiker economy.
And I was like, oh, meet my friend, meet my friend. Like, you guys should go talk. And so, yeah, both people left Washington just very happy.
If you don't mind my asking, have you ever like ego deathed on shrooms, like tripped balls?
I've gone deep. The ego death thing I haven't experienced. I've done like 5 grams before. So
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So you've tripped balls before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of acid is similar. I mean, I like acid a
done
little
acid.
bit better.
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah.
have done acid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are they
well then
similar?
hell. Okay.
Do you feel the same on them?
No, they're both psychedelics, but they couldn't be more different in the realm of psychedelics. in my opinion.
Wow.
Interesting. What's the difference?
mean, I do feel like
Acid's more fun.
they're. Yes, he's right.
But like, why?
Well, so I also back when I was doing like a lot of therapy and medication and stuff, I was doing ketamine treatments. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah, so like Spravato, esketamine, they would put you in a room and for 2 hours you'd sit there high as fuck on ketamine. And that's like a psychedelic, but also like an anesthetic. So like if you get up to go pee, you're like holding onto the wall.
Yeah,
Like,
it dissociates.
whereas acid, you're just like crushing miles.
Was that beneficial for you, out of curiosity?
The ketamine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Because, that's the kind of stuff, that and psilocybin, they're using that for like PTSD and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did think it was pretty beneficial.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you guys are planning to take these double tabs of acid at noon?
No, it was more so like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Okay. But you had hiked...
We'd already done like 30, 40 something miles by that point.
Sheesh.
I mean, it's Oregon. It's pretty cruisy. And we were up at 3 a.m. So we take the acid, and then we're all like, hey, let's single file hike. And it was Scroto, me, Parachute, and then these 2 guys that we had just met the day before, Cheddar and Jetpack. And we're kind of single file hiking because we know we're about to like enter the ether. And I'm hiking, and I'm all of a sudden like, whoa, shit, here we go. I had filmed videos where I was like talking about like dinosaurs that were living underground and stuff like that. Like I was pretty far out there, but I was moving good. So we hike. So the acid hits hard. We're hiking, and then we get trail magicked, and I'm tripping balls, and I'm like, oh no, I can't. I wanted to tell these ladies that were giving us donuts. I wanted to say thank you, but I was just tripping too hard. So I just remember smiling at them a lot. Like I just sat down, like aggressively smiled at them, because I wanted to be like, this is beautiful. You're trail magicking us. And, psychedelics, you're like feeling the love and like, look at them just giving us, trail magic is beautiful. I just couldn't do it. So I was just smiling at them really hard. Somebody has me on film just sitting there like, it's a pretty funny video. So then we get up and we keep going. We knock out a good 15 miles. We're at mile 45 or something. We got 20 to go at that point, and the acid's starting to wear off. So then we house like 5 grams of shrooms apiece.
Jesus.
No.
Yeah.
That's a busy day.
That was... And it was cool because at that point it's full dark. We all are red lighting. And I remember the last 15 miles, 20 miles of that hike. You know those haunted house rides where you're like in like a dark room on a cart and it's like woo, like on the other side where the trees are jumping out to grab you? That was that hike. Like my legs are on autopilot. I'm just going.
Are you not like terrified? Like this sounds
no,
like you would be having a
cool.
bad trip.
It was cool spooky. It was like nice, cool Halloween vibes. Because we're all single file in a line. We're red lighting. And the trees are like kind of spooky dancing at us, but it felt like a cool haunted house Halloween ride. And the last 2 miles, everything started to wear off, and it's like uphill and sand. And we're at mile like 65 at this point. We did 68 miles for the 24-hour challenge.
Wow.
And actually, so we nodded off while hiking a few times. I caught myself, but our buddy Cheddar, he nodded off and just ate shit on the side of the trail. And he doesn't get up. He looks at us. He says, I'm going to take a 10-minute nap. And sure, he made it to camp that night. But so we make it. I nodded off once or twice, and I didn't fall, but you kind of have to catch yourself. And we get to camp. Scroto, bless his fucking heart, he's insanely athletic, strong hiker. He had got there like a half an hour before us. He's in his tent laying there. And he's like, hey, you made it. And I thought we were on like a blue blaze, like a little side trail to the tent site. And I'm like, I just did 68 miles. I'm broken. I'm like about to die. There's one of those superhero movies. I never got into the Marvel stuff, but the superhero does something insane. Like he moves the moon or some insane physical feat. Then he comes back to Earth and he's like sitting there wide-eyed. And like the girl he's banging, the girl he's with is like, thanks, you can rest now. And he just dies. That's how I felt after the 24-hour challenge. I was just like sitting there like, I did it. Can somebody tell me I'm allowed to die now? Because like you're like so like wired and hopped up. And so I thought I was on this blue blaze. So I just Tyvek quilt. That's it. No sleeping pad, no nothing. I'm like a piece of fucking trash on the ground. And I'm like, this is what I deserve. And I fall asleep. And I wake up, it's like 9 a.m. the next morning. And this girl, Jester, she's like, hey,
you slept through
me.
the night without a sleeping pad?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I did it. I mean, 6 to 8 miles will make you pretty tired,
Yeah, sure.
I guess. But it's also weird because when you hike big miles like that, like you get to camp thinking you're exhausted, but like, no, you're wired.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to chill out for a little while. But so I wake up the next morning and this girl gestures like, hey, excuse me, Vegas. And I'm like, oh, sorry. I just like rolled into the grass. And I'm like, why is she set up now? It turns out I was on the PCT, like just straight up on the red line, laying down like a piece of litter. But so we woke up and we weren't as broken as we thought, but it was dad noise central, like like moving around. And we did the breakfast buffet and the lunch buffet.
Nice.
We did 2 buffets.
Yeah.
And I think the rest of that day, there was a hot tub. I sat in there moaning for about 45 minutes. And nobody would come near me because it's like, I had like this kind of 1,000-mile stare all day and like, the long hair and the beard. And I saw one lady kind of like, I walked up to the hot tub and she had grabbed her kid and like pulled the kid like towards her. So I sat in the hot tub and then I think just laid in my tent the rest of the day. And then we just kept going from there. We took 1-0 after that. That was pretty intense. And then I also did acid again in Goat Rocks, which if you're going to do acid, you should do it in Goat Rocks.
Yeah. Jabba's got a acid and Goat Rock story.
Oh my
Does
God.
he?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Rachel,
mean,
let's put that in the show notes next time.
oh yeah. I mean, you know.
I
like,
say that with confidence because I'm sure he's either talked about it or he would feel comfortable talking about it.
Whereas I had a mental breakdown on Goat Rocks because I don't like heights.
Damn.
Yeah, it took me like 2 hours to
I didn't
cross
think
it.
Goat Rocks was sketchy.
No, I'm just like
yeah.
a pussy.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
we cowboy
This is a me
camped.
problem.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that because like Goat Rocks is
It was beautiful.
Oh,
I loved it.
yeah.
I could still recognize beauty while crying.
And being on acid there, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But we cowboy camped at this little ridge where on one side you could see Rainier and on the other side you could see, I think it was Hood. And it was beautiful clear night. It's like, you know, the Paramount movie logo where the stars go? It looked like that. Like we were getting sunset and I'm like, wait for the stars to circle the mountain. We're at a movie, guys. Because I was still like coming down from the acid. But we cowboy camped there and that was really cool. And then Washington, Washington was harder. It got harder towards the end. And we had our buddy, this guy, his trail name that we call him is Oz. His full trail name is the Wizard of Ounce. Ounce O-Z. Because the first time, isn't that really good? That's one of the better trail names I've ever given. We met him on the AT. He was like greened out in a shelter at like 1 PM. And as we walk up, he kind of wakes up and he's like, oh, hey, does anybody have an ounce of weed I can buy? And we're like, I don't even know you. And so I wanted to call him Ounce, but he's like, I feel like that's too obvious. So we switched it to Oz, but he's officially the Wizard of Ounce.
Yeah.
So
It's also a lot of weed to try to buy.
Yeah. That's why I was like.
Did it just happen to have an extra?
Yeah. It was a fixture on Southern AT. Any time of day, you would see Oz greened out on the side of the trail. Be like, Oz. And he's like, oh, shit, what time is it? And you look at the time, just get up and sprint. And, like, you'd pass him, and he'd be asleep, and then you wake up the next day, and he's 40 miles ahead of you. Like, but so he came and joined us on the end of the PCT from the couch, and he did, like, 240s in a row with me. Like, I don't know how he did that from the couch, because, like, at this point, the cumulative fatigue is catching up to me at this point, and I'm like, ugh. I had to pop an extra caffeine pill on a few of those days. And then he broke his hand and he lost his wallet while he was out here with us. I feel like we fucked him over. but he had a blast. And he was with us all the way to White's Pass. Because, you know, this year they wouldn't let you walk into Canada. You had to. We made that fun, though, because as you approach the terminus, people coming back, you know they just finished. So it's, fuck yeah, man. You're high-fiving and they're hyping you up. And then hitting the border and coming back, you're hyping folks up. So even though it was a pain in the ass to have to backtrack 30 miles, I feel like we all did a good job of making it like really cool and hyping each other up.
I forgot you couldn't do that this year.
Yeah.
Is that permanent?
Indefinite.
It's probably until things change, I imagine. But yeah.
Crazy.
But I mean, like I said, we made that fun. And Oz did not join us for Hearts Pass to the border because he's gonna thru-hike it one day. So he was like, I'll leave that for you guys. I'll leave it sacred.
Yeah.
But so and so I Java and Handstand were there at the terminus. I finished the night of the 14th, and I was there alone in the rain, and I was like, this is no Katahdin. Cool, I did it. And I thought I was like not gonna get a picture, but then this couple walked up and they got a picture of me, which was cool. And there was like a stealth site 0.2 behind it or something. So I stealthed there and waited for the rest of my crew to catch up the next morning. And we all got pictures together. And there's a slow motion thing of parachute waving champagne around, and Java and Handstand are in that too, which is really, really cool. So that was cool to finish with them. And then I did a single tab of acid on the walk back. So I wasn't tripping balls, but I was enough to where I was like kind of radiating tie-dye.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it sounds like you're building up a tolerance at this point.
Oh yeah, but that walk back was that was like the credits are rolling because you're walking back and it's like the end of the movie. You did it. You got to backtrack. And acid helped. I was in a very self-reflective, but it was cool thinking about what I learned on the PCT versus the AT, kind of solidifying that image of just Vegas is always out there on one of these trails, kind of hanging out like Peter Pan. Like I'm pretty sure that's what the rest of my life is going to look like.
Hell yeah, love that. And you've done some more backpacking since.
Yeah, right after the PCT, GT's wife said, "You got a couple weeks, get out of here." And he said, how about we finish the long trail? And so pretty much we road tripped. Oz had driven out to, Washington. So we road tripped from Seattle to Cincinnati. Oz took the night shift. I took the day shift, just driving nonstop. And I got back. I had to fix my SUV back up again, living out of it full time. I kind of moved back into it. And then I drove up to Vermont and GT flew in and we did from where the AT splits up to Canada, and I kicked my ass. Coming from the easy grade of the PCT to the first day we get back on the long trail, it's like fall colors, green tunnel, and GT and I are like, oh man, like back on the East Coast, because he had done the JMT over the summer with Million Bucks and Ducky. So even though I had done more hiking, he had still kind of come fresh off of a West Coast hike. So we get on there and we're all like, this is so cool, green tunnel, leaves, and like fast forward 4 hours later, it's dumping rain on us, and we're like, remember how happy we were 4 hours ago? So it actually only rained that first day. We had great weather the rest of the time. But we were doing like 25-mile days the first couple of days. And that was like leaving at 6 a.m., getting to camp at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I think it was like the third night. We're both in our tents and it's kind of quiet. And GT's like, dude, this sucks. Like from his tent. And it was kind of like a happy, it sucked at the time, but I feel like it was good in the long run. He like his big toe got infected or something. His trail name GT stands for something different every trail. So on the AT, it was Globetrotter because he works all over the world. On the Ozark Highlands Trail, it was goddamn tent stakes because he flew into Arkansas, but I had to stop by his dad's house where his gear was, and his dad packed him like 46 tent stakes. And so the first night he goes to set up his tents, he's like, what the fuck? Why do I have so many goddamn tent stakes? So that was GT on the Ozark Highlands. I think he was so fast on the JMT, I wasn't with him, but it was like Gran Turismo or something lame like that. But on the long trail, it was Gnarly Toe. Because his toe got infected. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That's good.
So his big toe got infected, and actually Ballsack and Chewy happened to be nearby. Chewy holds the self-supported FKT for that trail. So it was really cool. She did that trail in like 5 days. So she either does a lot of drugs or she can teleport or something. I don't know how she does that. She's insane. And then Ballsack's doing I think she's doing what Peg Leg is doing next year, the calendar year border to border. She's doing that with Sparkle, I think. So we got to meet them. They picked us up, took us into Waterbury, and we had only done like 10 miles that day, and GT gets like free hotel rooms because of like his job or something. So after like 10 miles, it's like 11 a.m. We just get a hotel room and just house food, and we rest, and we sleep like all day. And then the next day, we don't even get out till like noon. So we're much more well-rested and well-fed. And then we go back to the long trail, and we kind of stick to like more 20-ish mile days, and it was a lot easier after that.
It's a tough trail to crush yourself on.
Oh yeah, it's like Southern Maine.
Yeah.
I mean, we did like 12 miles and got like 5,500 feet of gain.
Yeah,
because it's all that. I'm not super familiar with the classes. Like class 1 is just like walking on a trail. I think I've heard class 5 is like you cannot do it without equipment.
Yeah. And
like without those ladders and rebar into the straight up things, like looks like class 5 to me. But, I mean, yeah, you guys know how the Southern Maine climbing stuff is, so.
Yeah.
The
long trail kicked my ass. Like, I was sore and just drained physically for probably 2 to 3 days afterward, which is like, for a hike of that length, I feel like I haven't experienced that before.
I think mile for mile, like, of course, the 18 and the PCT are harder because they're longer, and but mile for mile, that's definitely the hardest trail I've ever done.
Yeah.
It just packs the most difficulty punch in its condensed form.
And the trail's very rugged, roots, rocks. You don't get momentum anywhere.
And like you said, it's like you're doing so much climbing. The PCT, you're on your feet all the time. There's very little scrambling. But on the long trail, you're climbing. You're using your upper body. You're just using muscles I don't think you're used to.
Yeah.
And I had also just hiked fucking 2,700 miles. So I was tired.
Yeah.
So it was a trip. But we made it. We made it to Canada. And every trail I do, I get tattooed on my leg. So I got the excuse for my long trail tattoo. So that was pretty cool.
I did see that note about your tattoos. I have given a number of stick and poke tattoos on the PCT. Believe it or not, I carried ink and a stick, and I would change out the needles each time. I'll show you one of them.
I have stuff in my SUV.
Yeah, don't threaten this boy with a good time.
Dude, if you want to give me a tat, I'm here for it.
It's a little time consuming to make it good, but I'll find you a photo. It won't be the fastest thing, but I'll find you a photo of it.
That ghost and the pumpkin on my arm are stick and poke.
Once we're done with the interview pre-segments, I'll show you this video, which is the Ozark Highlands Trail, the deep water one I was telling you about, and I'll find you that. I'll find you a couple of the photos.
You got it. I'm in.
I don't like to toot my own horn, but they were pretty good tattoos, and they've held over time.
That's the
quick Trek propaganda is we're doing a series on trail-related tattoos, so we'll have the show notes.
You guys, any pictures you want on my trail tattoos, you got it.
Sweet. Hell yeah. So what's next?
So right now I'm heading out to Nevada for my winter work season. I'll be guiding day hikes out there. Before the PCT, I was guiding like little kayaking trips down in Florida. Nothing in like Grenade or Rafiki level. Just like the kayaking trips, kids would come on those. It was like clear kayaks with LED lights on them. We'd go at night. And
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was like waist deep water. So, kids would come on them. They'd pick out shells and crabs. Fun family stuff. And then in Nevada, I'll be guiding just day hikes out in the Valley of Fire, actually just outside my namesake. So
Wow. Are you going to visit
cool.
Valentina?
I don't
You
maybe,
remember
I
the
don't
name.
know. Like,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money. I've since my friends, when I came back to Maryland after that, my friends were like, I have girls here for that $300 they'll get you all night. So I've made a few more contacts.
Ah.
I have to pay for it. That's my only option.
Have you been back to a prostitute since?
A legal prostitute? No.
How about an illegal prostitute?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, so there was this. Let me tell you about Dungeon.
Dungeon was
I
her
gave
name.
her the trail name Dungeon. She's not even a hiker. I gave her a trail name.
Okay.
I come back to Maryland. My buddy's like, "You paid $1,500 for that?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'll get you $300 for all night." He let me use his bed.
What?
On top of his comforter. He said, "Don't peel the comforter back." And I learned a lot more about myself.
What did you learn?
So he gave me his straps, and I was tied down eagle spread. And this was right before I thru-hiked the AT. After my experience in Vegas with Valentina. So this girl, I gave her the trail name Dungeon because she teaches like a rope BDSM course at a dungeon in Baltimore.
Huh.
And so I just referred to her as Dungeon on the trail, but she tied me down. And so what Valentina couldn't do.
So he finished.
Dungeon.
And that was the first time in my life that's ever happened.
Really?
I think I blacked out for like 2 seconds. I remember she had to be like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "I think so." And then, but actually, so then we pulled the guest bed out and we cuddled all night, and that was like the best part. I know, like she like koala cuddled me. That was very serotonin inducing. But the next day, my neck is all bruised up again, and my dad, who again prior to the AT, again I was kind of in a bad spot, so everyone was a little worried about the thru hike. So my dad says, "Let me take you out to lunch." I get to lunch. He sees my neck, and he's like, "Did you try to hang yourself?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like,
the exact
and he's
opposite
like,
of
"What
that?
is that? What is that?" And my brother's sitting there with like a shit-eating grin on his face, like he knew what it was. And finally, I told my dad. My dad was like, "Oh, hell yeah!" And then just like, that was pretty cool. But so I'll be in Nevada, guiding these hikes for a little while. I'll be back. My mom has a house on an island in Florida that my birthday's in December, but it's like a tropical island that I can be swimming in, which is pretty cool. So I'll visit there for a little while.
When's your birthday?
December 23rd.
Ooh, we're close.
Yeah.
On the 27th.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Fellow Capricorn.
That's right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What's a Capricorn? Like, what are they known for?
I think we're stubborn.
Earth signs, kind of, grounded, reliable, stubborn, yeah.
Hmm.
Which, my Hogwarts house, though, have you taken the official...
Yeah, I'm a Slytherin. You'd think, but they didn't
No,
ask what color my
that
hair
doesn't
was.
surprise me. I would have called you as a Slytherin.
Why?
Your personality.
Evil?
No. We'll talk. So, I mean, you've taken the official one that J.K.
Yeah,
Rowling herself
Pottermore.
for. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm a Gryffindor with Slytherin as a very, very close second.
Interesting.
No, Slytherins aren't evil. They're just they're charismatic. They're deep thinkers. You never forget a Slytherin. You know what I mean? They're very noteworthy people. Like, Gryffindors are like headstrong, stubborn. They can be black and white. Fun fact, in the thru-hiking community, there's an obscene amount of Gryffindors because it's that ADHD go-get-it energy, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
But so, anyway, so Florida, I'll be visiting Florida around my birthday for the holidays and stuff. I'm going to try and be at the day one hike. I think that's what it's called. Ramdino and Fresh Ground always go to the Foothills Trail for New Year's. Because last year at New Year's, Fresh Ground called me up. He's like, "Vegas, ain't you in Florida right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, why don't you come on down to see me now at the Florida Trail kickoff? Just wash your hands before you come out." And I'm like, "All right." So I met Pegleg there. That was really, really cool. Hung out with Fresh Ground. And it was so wholesome because I'm a hugger. I like hugging hikers when I see them. But, Fresh Ground is a unique man. So I texted him, and I'm like, "You a hugger or a fist bumper?" He's like, "Fist bump, please." But then when I left, he's like, no, bring it in. And he gave me a hug. So, yeah.
The hug, that's nice.
Yeah. So I plan on staying working Nevada until I head out to Montana. And the tentative plan, because 2026 will be a smaller year for me, knock out a smaller trail. We're thinking it's coming down to either the Colorado Trail or the Superior Trail. One of those two. And then CDT 27 is 100% the plan. The plan right now is to Sobo it. I would say it's 90% Sobo, but 100% it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, and literally, like, over my dead body, that does not happen.
Yeah.
If I give you unsolicited advice, then I would say do the Superior Hiking Trail because the Colorado Trail shares 300 miles.
Yeah. That's kind of, I would imagine we're leaning more towards Superior.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with either. I want my Melly, like really bad. But
Make an appointment now.
But, so CDT 27 is the long-term plan. But that's 100% official.
Nice.
And then I'll be the Triple Crowner.
Fuck yeah. Let's do the sponsor question.
Hell yeah.
The Stay Salty question presented by LMNT. Use our URL, drinklmnt.com/trek for a free sample pack with your order. So what's your hot take in the world of backpacking or outdoors?
I'm ready for this. So anytime I hear about a bad animal-human encounter, I would bet you $5,000 that human did some dumb shit. In my experience, if you leave animals alone, they will leave you alone. Granted, I've never had any harrowing encounters. Like, didn't Mega Man fight a grizzly bear or something? Like, nothing like that. Sure, there's that 1% chance that you get some bear that's going to come after you, or you get a dog with rabies or something like that. Sure, that could happen. But I would bet 99% of the time, if you leave animals alone, they'll leave you alone. Anytime I hear about an animal coming after a human, the human probably fucked up. That's my hot
It's like
take.
you're tempting fate with this one. We're going to have to talk to you after the CDT. And
Can't wait for round 2 of this.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe if after the CDT, we'll see if that's still my hot take.
Yeah.
As of right now, yeah, that's my hot take.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Vegas, your story is awesome. Very happy that we were able to make this happen.
Absolutely.
Social media or anything you want to plug?
Yeah. Instagram is the main one. It's just at Vegas the Pied Piper, all one word. I also have a YouTube that I'll do other weird stuff on there. Like, I used to create all my friends as professional wrestlers and then like watch them fight and like film it and put it on YouTube. Just like weird shit like that. But I'm starting to put my old PCT stuff I filmed on YouTube. So both YouTube and Instagram is just at Vegas the Pied Piper, one word. And a lot of stuff on my Instagram too. I didn't mention this year, Thruer. Are you familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
So this year was the first year they did what they call the Hiking Scholarship Award, and I was the first winner. They gave me $1,000 to just use towards a hike.
Hell yeah.
And I was kind of like a trail ambassador correspondent for them. And moving forward, I'll be an ambassador with them. So you can check Thruer out on Instagram too. It's just at like THRU-R. I'm on there a lot, just kind of like, talking about trail community and whatnot. So, but yeah, for my stuff, Instagram's the main one, just at Vegas the Pied Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Your story's very inspirational.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing it with us.
Yeah, and I want to thank you guys. Like, it's so cool to be here. Like, I've been listening to your show for a long time, and what you guys have done with the trek, like fighting for the hikers and stuff. Like, I really appreciate you guys letting me come on here. This is a huge honor for me.
Thank you. It's very
Thank
nice
you
of you.
very much.
To the Trek propaganda portion of today's show. This one by, of course, Katie Jackson. Is titled, "Do You Need a Sleeping Bag Liner for Backpacking?" This piece offers the pros and cons of using a sleeping bag liner. I feel like over the last year or so, I've talked to more people on this podcast who are using the sleeping bag liner. Like, I feel like it's having a little bit of a resurgence. Like, I feel 6 years ago, nobody was really using a inflatable pillow. And now, like, the majority of people that I talk to, it's kind of like a micro trend, I feel like. I think sleeping bag liners might be on the come up. I hiked the AT with a sleeping bag liner, and then, since being smarter, more educated, ditched it, learning that it was just dead weight. I think I'm going to go back to it this year, just as like a test, because, I mean, when you think about it, it gets so fucking disgusting, and then you go skin to the material, and like that just accumulates over time.
That's part of the fun for me.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you don't mind the funk, that's fine, but I also like loan my stuff out. I don't know, I'm not sure.
You loan your sleeping bags out?
I just loaned one to Jess. Yeah.
Wow.
Jess is gonna sleep in your sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think she already did. Oh yeah, I have to get my sleeping bag back. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah.
If I may, so I have, the puffy jacket. Everybody's got a puffy jacket. I also have puffy pants and puffy booties.
I love puffy pants and puffy booties.
When I'm in my full puffy setup, I am in the warm, moist mouth of the Lord.
I go in my puffy
comfortable.
setup in my puffy sleeping bag.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm still cold. My knees, talk about being a knee guy, the tops of my knees get very cold.
I remember
why.
you saying that.
Yeah, it's always my knees and my butt.
You're still the only person I've talked to about the knee thing.
I don't know what, it's like pain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's because there's like less there, but
Yeah,
my
maybe.
knees and my butt get very cold. But I sleep in my puffy pants. I'll sleep in the
I
shoes.
also have the Alpha Fleece Senchi. You guys know those? That's like, that thing slaps. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've slept with like if I go full puffy with the Alpha Fleece and then throw the rain gear on. I've been in Montana. It's been like 1 degree outside, and I wouldn't say I'm comfortable, but I'm alive.
Yeah.
So, but
I think I
neither
get
of you
two.
guys use liners.
I've tried a liner. I quickly untried the liner. I think for me, the times I tried it, I had it for a while at the start of the PCT. I ditched it about rightwood. I found that I was colder while sleeping with it, which the math doesn't necessarily math there. I'm going to give that to user error. Like, I was still learning how to use a quilt.
Sure.
yeah, that's weird.
But I think in general, the reason why I'd be hesitant to go back, I would like to go back because this is super interesting. I can't fall asleep unless the side of my mouth is touching like something that it can drool onto. And when I'm sleeping on my backpack or I'm sleeping on my food bag or I'm sleeping like with my sleeping quilt wrapped around me, none of that's the right fabric. That's all fabric you feel your drool, like just because it's not absorbent. So I'll usually put a shirt or like a sleeve or something on it.
That's a good idea. When you wake up and there's like a big ass puddle of drool on your
Yeah.
thermorest, like that sucks.
No, like I'll put my buff underneath the side of my mouth just so
Yeah,
that there's
okay,
something
yeah.
to drool onto. So I could see a sleeping bag liner being nice because then I have that fabric to
That wasn't listed in the pros and cons of
list
the article.
under.
See,
But other than that, like I think I would get claustrophobic. I'd turn a lot, so I feel like it would wrap around me, and then I'd wake up and I'd be like,
that's funny you say you use a buff because I have 2 things I carry with me. One is my AT buff and the other is my PCT rag, which I told you what I use.
Let's hope you don't mess
imagine,
those
like,
two up.
No. I feel like the AT buff can be for drool and the PCT
Yeah.
rag can be for.
You just
nut.
better hope you don't mess those up.
I've never used the liner though. I've never.
Yeah.
I would try it, but I've never used one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's certainly not a necessary piece of gear,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna re-experiment with it.
I need to experiment with a pillow first, and if the pillow goes well, I'll do liner.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna make 2026 the year of Zach getting better at sleeping in the backcountry, which means I think
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
have to try different sleeping pads. That's the big one.
I think there's ones that I think there's an inflatable pad that could work for me. I just don't. I don't want to buy a bunch of shit to figure it out.
What's
Yeah.
the one everybody did? Thermarest Neo X Air Light
The
double wide.
X-Lite,
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
I roll off. I wake up on the side of
Do
it.
you clip your quilt around
I
you? though?
have, and I
you,
still
how
wake
do you
up.
still roll off?
Skill, talent.
That is talent. I couldn't get out of that thing if I tried.
We roll together. We're one.
I rotisserie very much so in my
Yeah.
sleep, and I've never escaped mine. So.
But there's some with that like focaccia, like when you knead focaccia bread. There's some with that like dimply pattern on it that I think would be less rollable because it's not just one way.
Maybe a
It's-
Nemo. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, there are like more luxury pads out there, but the X-Lite is undisputed as like the best for durability, R value, and weight combination. Like it is. That's why everyone uses it.
Oh, I
It's
love
like,
it. Yeah, I love
does. It does all that very well.
I had one on the PCT that it didn't pop, but it was like starting to deflate. They had me take a Sharpie and like write an RMA number on it, and then they just shipped me a new one like, for free.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the reason why I think there is a pad that could work for me of like a different pattern is because I carried a pool float on the JMT, and that's a sleeping pad, so I blow it up at night, and that was nice. But that's like not weight or space practical. So
Yeah. The pads that I'm looking at to improve my sleep, it all gets very heavy very quickly. Like I'm gonna
Right.
be back to like a 40-pound pack here before
Whoa.
long, which is dumb for me. But yeah, that'll be my experiment for next year.
interesting.
Let us do a question of the day. This is Chaunce's.
Yeah. Since when is fountain soda no longer free refills?
We should call this Chaunce's soapbox instead of question of the day.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially what thing of the week was. It was just like me
Sure.
coming in with a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you know apparently free refill soda, fountain soda, not free refills?
I feel like that's pretty. If they're gonna do that, they should move the soda dispenser thing like back to like the employees only area.
They are. Have you ever been to McDonald's and you notice that the drink fountain's no longer out there?
I get sick as shit when I eat fast food, which I feel like is a blessing in disguise.
Sure.
I feel like the lowest quality fast food I can eat and not get sick is Chick-fil-A, which I don't think is that low quality. Like,
Chick-fil-A
Yeah, that's
is.
pretty good.
I've made a goal to start consuming more Chick-fil-A.
Oh, it's amazing.
Jen always gets it. She brings it home. I'm like,
Dude.
even cold, this is good.
Day
Yeah.
one, if you're like on like a 4-day hike or something, day one, pack out 30 chicken nuggets. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it will change your life.
like that.
I like
Definitely.
that.
It's funny that you bring this up because today I went to a place with free soda refills.
Here's the thing. Here's my beef. this is something that was taught to me growing up. If there's a fountain soda machine, there are free refills. It's at any restaurant, even if you're not filling your own cup. At any restaurant, if you get fountain soda, free refills.
That's reasonable to assume, yeah.
And, like, at McDonald's, I mean, I remember being a kid and, like, people would save their cups so they could just go back and, like, refill it, you know? But we were driving back from New York after the wedding, and we had stopped at McDonald's, and I had gotten a fountain soda, and we had stopped at another McDonald's, and I had asked Garrett to go in and refill it for me. He was like, you can't do that. Like, that you're not allowed to. And, like, it got to the point where we Googled it because we were just like, no way. And apparently they're phasing that out. And I just think that's ridiculous. It cannot cost that much for some soda juice to mix with some carbonation to put in a cup, and they can't be losing that much money on it. It's like how Costco does the chicken for cheaper because you're going to buy something else. And what place in life have we gotten to that you can't refill a fountain soda for free?
Two things, which are maybe not related to your question at all. One is Costco's, where I was at today. They market free refills. So you get a fountain soda, and it says fountain soda plus free refills. Or maybe it was free refill. I don't remember.
Don't they still do, like, the $1.50 hot dog, too?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And they
Costco,
lose money on that.
Yeah, but, like, that's the point. You go in there to do
like,
it.
Yeah, we're not bending on this at all.
Because, you get the goodwill and you buy other shit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is I'm not sneaking a free refill. Like, I'm not being sneaky about it. I'm just going up and refilling. So, like, you would have to have blatantly obvious signage telling me that it's not free.
For sure.
For me to understand that I can't do that.
The other thing, which is top of mind and also not an answer to your question, is apparently McDonald's has, like, a proprietary way that they do their fountain Coca-Cola. Like, apparently McDonald's is known for having the best fountain soda Coke of any restaurant in the world.
I've heard that too.
They, like, chill the tubes. Like, there's this whole process they go through to make their...
That's why I want a refill.
Yeah. Again, not an answer to your question, but that's my fun
Have you
fact.
tried, like, doing a tour? Like, go to Burger King, see if you get one. Go to Wendy's, see if you can get one. Like,
so Google says that places are phasing out of it. That's why some McDonald's have the fountains out and some don't, is because they're phasing out of, like, when they replace the fountains or whatever, they'll, like, move them to the back. And I mean, okay, if it's in the back, like, it's pretty clear cut. But if you have an open fountain in front of me that I can push the lever on, there has to be some very clear signage telling me
if you're giving me access to it, I'm going for it.
I'm not being sneaky.
That could be like a series of, like, a YouTube short thing you make is, like, each fast food restaurant you visit, like, can Chaunce get a free refill? And you go in there and, like, see if you can pull it off. Because that's good hiker intel.
Yeah. Although, are you guys drinking more than one cup worth of, like, I feel like I'm done by the time I get through one.
Well, yeah, but, like, if I'm on a road trip,
or if you're hiking, you guzzle, like, another refill.
Sure.
Like, and I don't even go to fast food places that much, but, like, if I go in there and I, like, get 30 chicken nuggets, I'm slamming another refill.
They can't be losing that much money on it.
I feel mostly bad for the kids out there that can't do, like, the kamikaze. I don't know if that's the term.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you mix all of them together. It's like a
don't they call that the McFuck?
Way of life.
Is that what it is?
I've never heard
Or
that.
maybe that's like the chicken, the burger, the apple pie, and the fish fillet all at once. I don't know, something like that. I don't know.
Sounds
It's
like
gross.
a tummy ache.
It sounds gross.
So since when is fountain soda no longer free? Refills?
I feel like every McDonald's I go into now is different. Like, you order from the mechanical kiosks, and it's just becoming very future.
Yeah.
The McDonald's at the famous one on the PCT, I forget exactly. It's like right before
Cajon Pass.
Yeah. We went there, and I hadn't been to McDonald's in like 10 years. I think I got a McFlurry. It's like the only thing, that and the Shamrock Shake, like the only things I can eat without like getting like violent diarrhea.
Huh.
And so I went in there, I got the McFlurry, and everyone else is like on their phones, and then the food comes out, and I'm like, what the fuck? You don't just go up and order anymore, but like apparently no, you order online and they bring the food out to you and stuff like that. So I'm out of touch with the fast food game, I tell you.
Fun callback. Remember when we were rallying on Moron about getting the McDonald's app?
Yeah.
He sent me a voice memo via Instagram saying that like all the free food he's gotten since we dropped that knowledge bomb moment. He's like, "Thank you, this has changed my life."
Oh.
Yeah, the McDonald's app, guys. If you're listening to this and you don't have the McDonald's app, download the McDonald's app. Like, I'm someone who doesn't go that often. I know I just talked about it a bunch, but like it was a road trip. I don't go that often, but I keep that app on my phone. They're throwing free food
thing
at you
every time you go. It's
right.
Like, anytime Leo and I do like a dad-son thing, like we always go to McDonald's to get ice cream, and I don't think I've paid for it in like the last 10 times, and I don't go to McDonald's that often.
It's like McDonald's is lonely. It's like, just look at us and we'll give you free stuff.
Also, none of their stuff is cheap anymore, so they make it back pretty quickly. But
yeah, I remember you used to get like a McDouble for like $1.
Yeah, they had a full $1 menu. It's like now
and that's gone?
There's nothing that's even close to $1 anymore. Yeah.
But they can't afford to keep fountain soda refillable?
Apparently not.
What is this?
We're gonna do the Triple Crown of Donuts. I'm now a little bit worried that we're gonna be working with 9 draft picks instead of 6. So
yeah, I hope you guys like a lot of kinds of donuts. I'm gonna selfishly go first. My favorite donut of all donuts, if I had to just
if you
pick
take
one,
mine, I'm leaving the podcast.
strawberry frosted with sprinkles.
Okay. That's how you're juicing.
What do you mean I'm juicing?
It's like you're taking steroids. That's how you keep your color.
Oh, the strawberry frosted?
Yeah.
It's just got this taste to it.
No, strawberry
It's not
frosted
strawberry.
is really
It doesn't
good,
taste
yeah.
like strawberry,
Yeah.
but it's got this taste to it that just makes me happy.
Yeah.
That's a good donut.
As our guest, I'll let you choose if you want to go second or third.
I'll go second.
Okay.
And it's a snake draft, right? So
Yeah.
it goes like Chaunce, Vegas, Zach, Vegas, Chaunce kind of
No,
thing? Or no, you go
Chaunce, Vegas,
twice.
Zach, Vegas,
Okay, okay.
Chaunce, Vegas,
Okay,
Zach.
so I'm going to go, this might be too specific. I'm going to go hot glazed Krispy Kreme.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Like, I have great memories of, like, being a kid and my dad would take me to Krispy Kreme. You watch them get baked right there, and then you get a hot dozen. They're so hot they just melt in your mouth. And, like, dude, on a thru-hike, I could put away a dozen of those, like, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, hot Krispy Kreme glazed.
The flavor on the Krispy Kremes are so good. I always feel like I'm wanting more with it. Like it's like like a lozenge. Or
I'm
something
sure
like
that
it just
there's meth in there.
disintegrates.
Like, I'm sure.
Yeah. Cool. I get two. Number one, I was worried someone was going to take this, and maybe this is similar to the Krispy Kreme, but just a buttermilk old fashioned. Like that's the best donut. And it has
I
to
don't
be
even, I don't know what that is. What is that?
I'll pull up a picture of it. It's
Yeah,
kind of
please do.
like,
Is that like the cake one?
yeah.
Oh, I don't like that one. Oh,
No?
you can have that.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here thinking someone's going to take mine, and no one's taking my second one yet.
It's these guys. It's,
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
no,
It's like
thank
the
you.
basic fluffy donut.
Yeah.
That's
but-
like
but
dry.
it's the cake,
It's a
so it's
dry
like-
food.
See,
It is drier. Well, I mean, I guess all donuts are kind of dry.
It's
See,
like a dry rub wing versus like a
Yeah,
wet
no, it's less
sauce
wet.
ring.
But I feel like because it's the cake that holds more of the butter or whatever they use to make it, it's definitely. I don't like the what's the alternative to the cake donut? Like
I
the
see what
yeast?
he's putting out.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I like. Sorry,
like-
this is a yeast donut. The other kind is a cake. I don't like the cake donuts for that reason. It's like they are drier. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, okay.
It's like
yeah,
eating
yeah.
like a muffin or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yes, exactly.
The yeast donuts are the ones that are more dense and like moist
Interesting.
for
Okay.
it.
I need a frosting.
The buttermilk old fashioned is just like you snap it in half. Every bite is fulfilling. The flavor's perfect. That's
See,
just
I-
like the best donut.
I don't think a donut should snap.
I do like the donuts you
Snap's
can
the
just
wrong
squeeze
word.
in
You
your
break
hand.
it. I mean, you don't have to eat it that way, but
Yeah.
that's the way that you should.
So now you go again, right?
I get
Yeah.
two.
Okay.
Oof. This is tough. This probably just harkens back to my fat kid era, but I'm classically reaching for the vanilla sprinkles. It's very basic, but white frosting, rainbow sprinkles.
Yeah.
I think I'm just visually attracted to that one. It's like a birthday cake. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn again?
Yep.
So I'm going to go with the glazed blueberry.
Oh my god! Thank God.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, no
Yeah.
one's just taking mine.
Yeah.
I-
Like, if you get, like, if you work an office job and somebody brings in donuts and it's just like a couple boxes of Dunkin' and they get like the variety pack.
Yeah. I
The
feel like the
blueberry-
blueberry is always the last one
Yeah.
to go.
What? Oh, no, I'm taking that shit
Yeah.
right away.
All
Like,
right.
Interesting.
yeah, and maybe that's why it's always there. I didn't think about that. Because, like, I'm always like, no, okay, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, blueberry glazed. That's my
Interesting.
second.
Good.
Okay. I can't believe neither of you guys took this one. My second one has a Boston cream.
I don't like
Not my
Boston. Yeah,
favorite.
not my favorite
Really?
either.
I don't like the goop inside.
It's
Um,
I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite.
I agree.
I will say the dead center, where it's like more goop than bread, that's a lot of goop. But around the outside, where it's equally distributed, I like that.
Anything, I don't like things that bust in my mouth. Like, I've just not.
Valentina taught him that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boston cream, I think, is a great donut. And then my last one, it's hard because it's like, do I go with a voodoo donut flavor that like a fraction of the listeners will know? I mean, they have expanded. Like people
They're
know them
everywhere now. There's got to be like 20 locations.
Or do I go
What-
with
a voodoo donut. What is that?
See?
they started in Portland. I think Denver was their next stop, but now
Yeah.
there's several in Denver. They're in the Denver airport. I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen them in
But
other
do other
cities.
places know voodoo donuts?
Is it a distinct
question.
like flavor or?
No,
or,
it's a donut place. It's called Voodoo Donuts.
So you
not
can just
just in
choose
the
a whole
whole-
ass donut shop as part of your donut.
No,
pick?
no, no. I
Oh.
would choose a specific one of their donuts.
Oh, okay.
But
okay,
I don't know if
okay,
that's too niche. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna go with Munchkins, donut holes.
Oh, that was good.
The
That's
nice
good.
center.
Okay.
I count that as a donut because it comes from the donut family.
Yeah.
It is a baby donut, and I think that my only thing is nothing with jelly in it. Any donut with jelly in it
I agree.
is like not okay.
I
That's
agree.
all I could say. It's not okay.
It's like the Boston cream. Like I don't hate it. It's just not what I'm gonna go
Yeah,
for.
it's not a donut. In my
jelly
book.
doesn't belong in donuts.
You know, like the powdered one with jelly in the middle.
Yeah.
That
That's
that
just a
to me
classic
is
jelly
that's to
donut.
me that's the last one I would choose.
Yeah.
To me, that's
agreed.
deception because you go for that thinking you're getting a nice powdered donut,
And then it
you
busts
take
in
a
your
bite
mouth.
and you're like,
Yeah.
exactly, and then it busts in your mouth. Yeah,
Gross.
no. And all munchkins except for that.
Okay.
But I like munchkins because it's fun getting like a little variety in every bite. I
Oh,
like
yeah,
having a
yeah.
little chocolate munchkin and then the little white powdery munchkin and then the little glazy munchkin. I just think that they're fun and cute and it's nice to eat a bunch of them as long as there's no jelly.
So now it's my turn again, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's 24 voodoo locations.
Wow.
There's
Really?
a lot. Yeah.
I might have to check. There's one in Denver.
There's a bunch.
I think
I
there's a
might
lot
have to
in
check them
Denver.
out.
There's one in the airport. Oh no, you didn't fly in.
I did not. So for my third one, I'm gonna do the chocolate glazed, like
Okay.
the chocolate ones that are glazed.
Yep.
I would imagine if I get a variety pack, I like your first pick. The strawberry sprinkles, that might be my first pick. But then the blueberry and chocolate glazed are probably what I'm going for next. Wait, honorable mentions is last, right? Because I do have
Yeah.
one in mind.
I got
so
one
have
more.
chocolate glazed, yeah.
When you started going down the voodoo route, I was confident you were going to take mine. The voodoo specifically, I know this is kind of cliche because I think this is the one they sell the most of. It's the maple bacon donut. Oh, it's so good.
I don't. Maybe it's I can't eat red meat. I'm allergic to it.
Yeah.
I also don't know if I could get behind maple bacon. Well, no, you put syrup on bacon. That used to be pretty good.
It's so good.
Bacon doesn't belong on a donut. These are two distinctly
I
different
feel
categories.
like I could get behind that. I don't know yet.
It's
but
worth
yeah.
having. It's worth going while you're out here, going to Voodoo Donut.
Cheers. I'm going to Voodoo Donut.
Yeah. I won't say it's the best donut in the world, but it's an experience. Like you go in and you're just so visually overstimulated. They're putting like cereal on stuff.
Yeah.
It's a real
Damn.
spectacle.
If you're
Okay.
going to Voodoo Donuts, the Oreo donut's really good. That
Okay.
was going to be my
I don't
favorite.
mind
is
that.
the Oreo
Cookies and
donut.
cream is okay.
The grape donut is very interesting.
Wait. Okay. Time out.
It doesn't taste like grapes. It tastes like a blow pop grape.
I love that. Like the fake candy
Yeah,
grape.
fake grape.
You ever had a grape milkshake?
No.
No.
It's kind of like that. It's like imagine purple Laffy Taffy or purple like
Yeah,
like the
that's the
candy
flavor you're
grape.
gonna get.
And you just kind of mix it with vanilla.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, the grape one.
Oh, shit.
It's hit or miss
Okay.
with people, but I think
No, I like grape.
if you're having one bite, it's good. It can get overpowering. And then they have like a bubble gum
Not
one.
into that.
That one's pretty good too. And then the one that has the voodoo shape. It's like a voodoo guy. And he's like stabbed in the chest with a. But I think he might have jelly in him.
Yeah, I'm out.
I like the shape
Like
of
the
him.
blood, like that's the blood.
That's why I think he might have jelly in him.
Okay,
But
I got you.
yeah, if you're gonna try 4, try Zpacks just for the sake of trying it. But Oreo,
Oreo's a
Grape.
good call. Oreo's a good call.
Cookies and cream is usually pretty safe.
Yeah. Agreed.
Where are you guys? I got just for my own curiosity. Where are you guys on green mint chocolate chip ice cream?
no.
Hate it? Like hate it.
Yeah, like growing up, mint tingling was a big thing, and I could never get on board.
Half-gallon challenge ruined it for me. It used to be my favorite ice cream, and then I ate a half-gallon of it.
You
and
can't eat it anymore at all.
I can. I just don't enjoy it the same way.
Okay.
I overdosed on it.
Because like there are some people like you, they're just like that's like toothpaste and chocolate. That just
Yeah.
doesn't mix.
But I like
But
a
then there's-
junior mint. every
Yeah,
now
like a
and
peppermint
then.
patty, a junior mint. I love all that.
But that's
I could see it being ruined via
Yeah.
half gallon.
in my
challenge, so.
mind, a junior mint or a peppermint patty is like a mom candy. Where like
Oh.
I can only have a nibble, you know.
Yeah.
And so you have that because it's so bad that you can't have more than a little bit.
What about thin mints?
Like also fine.
Because
Nice
I feel
little,
like
after meal, like cleanse the palate
the
a little
mint-
bit.
Yeah.
A nice little treat.
It's like
'Cause
the
I feel
ginger
like
between sushi
I'm thinking
rolls.
about
Yeah.
donuts and like mint. I feel like something good could be going on there. Does Voodoo have like a mint?
Probably.
If
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 somewhere,
anyone were to.
yeah,
Okay. Oh, I'm going there. Hell yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
like Voodoo.
I have most of tomorrow to just kind of dick around. So
Hell
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Nice. I don't actually have any honorable mentions.
I have one. It's the pumpkin glazed.
Ooh.
Like what pumpkin donut?
Tis the season.
I go
Yeah.
full basic white bitch when it comes to
Yeah.
pumpkin
Really?
flavored. I love it so much.
Wow.
The pumpkin foam at Starbucks
Oh yeah.
is so good.
A pumpkin spice latte with oat milk. I've had like 4 of them in the past 3 days.
Wow. See, no, not me.
Yeah.
It's my one not basic trait.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Mailbag.
Mailbag. Howdy, guys. Thanks for signing my butt at PCT Days. Y'all signed my chest last year at AT Trail Days. This year, it was my butt. So we'll see what happens in the future. Also, I was the guy in the rotisserie chicken eating competition brushing my teeth with the
I
bone.
forgot about that.
So thanks also for that shout out. Always a pleasure saying hi to you guys at Trail Days. Thanks for all you do. From Vegas.
I've been catching up on your episodes, wondering if you were going to use that I never even occurred to me you guys were going to use it today.
Rachel's a wizard. She's
Yeah.
very
Oh,
good.
man.
Yeah.
It's fun
That
to
was
pair
clever.
those
Did you
weekend.
win? I can't remember.
So very quickly, it was obviously between me and the other guy.
Yeah.
And you remember, I think I
You
did
did
pretty
win.
good. No, I came in a very close second.
Okay.
But it was, I think, and I'm not trying to my horn, it was like, I was close second, and then everybody else was way behind.
A lot of
Yeah.
people tapped out. They're like,
Yeah.
this was more, because those birds were
Yeah.
next level. Those were
I
big
couldn't do
birds.
math for the next 2 hours, though. It was a lot of protein.
I was just surprised that when everyone had their choice of chicken, that people weren't arguing over the lemon pepper chicken.
The problem was that it was cold. That made it hard.
Yeah.
If it had been hot and juicy, I'd have fucked that competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was pretty proud of how well I did, you know.
Yeah.
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 I think I would do that one again.
I just am picturing the pile of bones afterward, and that was pretty disgusting.
I mean,
You
I
were
was collecting
inspecting. Yeah, you were
them.
inspecting all
Yeah.
the bones. Like
No
I would,
cheating on my watch.
I would brush my teeth with the bone, put it down, and you'd be like, "Yeah, that's good." And you,
Yeah, I mean, because if everyone starts to rush and then you get some meat on the bones and everyone's tossing them
That's
down,
cheating.
like then it's just
You're
like
cutting
chaos,
corners.
mayhem. You
Yeah.
know, like someone's got to keep sanity happening.
Yep.
So
5-star review. We don't have one. I feel like in a future episode, we're going to start putting the call out for the 5-star reviews. So I imagine we'll get replenished. But this is just
Yeah.
another reminder that, guys, we need 5-star reviews. Go to Apple Podcasts, leave us any number of stars.
it's just not 1, 2, 3, or 4. I feel like we're in that gap between where we noticed it and started saying it, but those episodes still haven't aired yet.
Right.
you can't leave a 5-star review on Spotify, can you?
You can rate the podcast, but I don't think you can leave like written reviews.
Okay,
I
because
believe.
like I'm an Android guy. I don't have Apple Podcasts. I
Yeah.
use Spotify. But like, damn, I wish I could
It
do
does
that.
limit our pool for sure to
Yeah.
the iOS people. So maybe we'll have to get creative here.
I'll put the word out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
appreciate
great.
that. Shout out to today's title sponsor, LMNT. What is there to say? I've been hitting this on a real hard of late, so my element consumption is through the roof right now. But they're the best. They now have the lemonade, I think, permanently, which is great. It's the
Yeah.
best flavor.
It's
I
the
was-
think we've got
best.
some here if you want some.
The Walmart I slept at last night or 2 nights ago, I walked in and they had a shit ton of that. I bought like all of it.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
I was talking to Garrett's cousin who came to the wedding, and because he was in town this week for like a business trip. This is like an adult man with children, corporate guy, but he loved the element. And so I was telling him like, oh yeah, like we had it. So we're talking about the podcast. He was asking about the sponsors. I was like, oh yeah, the element from the wedding. Because I'd put some in every cabin. And it was just like a round. And he's like, oh, every time I saw that, I was just taking them and stuffing them in my pockets.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. People love it. And the lemonade, it's just, I haven't gotten sick of it yet.
It's very good.
Every day in the desert on the PCT, Elements sent me like one of them free sample packs or something. I was slamming like 6 full elements a day, which I feel like that's enough sodium I think that could kill you like on paper, but I was just sweating it back out.
Yeah.
If
And
you're
I-
a heavy sweater, you can get away with a lot of
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
And I'm one of those sweaters that it stains my shirt.
Yeah, I'm the
So
same.
like I like turned my navy blue hoodie white.
Yeah.
Like it was intense. But I
Yeah.
think that got me through the desert. Shout out to Element.
For sure. Yeah, if you're one of those that you're getting the white crystals in your hat or your shirt or something
Oh,
like that,
yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
Element is for you.
Yep.
Well, it's also interesting because, like, I don't notice I'm dehydrated, or I don't notice how much I'm dehydrated until I pour it in, and then I go to take a sip of what normally would be, like, a very strong amount, and I can't taste it. And then I sit there and I'm like,
Oh.
huh.
My
I
body's
must
telling me
be
something.
yeah, like what are we learning here?
Yeah, for
but
me,
without it, I wouldn't notice.
If I'm like dehydrated and I take electrolytes, it's like having a cup of coffee. It's just like, whoa, like
Yeah.
it reinvigorates
Yeah.
you. It
Yep.
really helps.
Yep. So use our URL, drinkelement, lmnt.com/trek for a free sample pack with your order. Super big thank you to our Chuck Norris Award winners on Patreon. That is Alex and Misty with Navigators Crafting, Andrew Awesome McDaniel, Bill Jensen, Brad and Blair from 13 Adventures, Brian Alsop,
Fables.
Carl Hood, Christopher Marshburn, Clint Sittler, Coach from Rain Outdoors, Eric Casper,
Friendly ghost.
Eric Hoffman, Ethan Harwell Dunn, Jillian Daniels, Go Bills.
Go Bills.
How you feeling right now?
Bad.
Greg Knight, Greg Martin, Griffin, hey, would you bring me a beer? Haley Buckingham,
Ballas.
Matt from Gilbert, Arizona, Patrick C. in Seattle, Rebecca Braveheart, Rural Drewer, Sawyer Products, Spam, the St. Louis Shaman, Timothy Hahn,
Hello.
and Tracy Trigger. Thanks to our guy Paulie at Old Man Murph's Coffee Roasters. Go to ommcr.com to get yourself some delicious beans. You can follow us on social at Backpacker Radio on Instagram and TikTok, at BackpackerPod on X, Facebook.com/Backpacker Radio. You can follow Chaunce.
You can find me on Instagram at Juliana_Chauncey, on YouTube at Juliana Chauncey, and you can get my book Hiking from Home, a long distance hiking guide for family and friends on Amazon.
Appalachian Trials and Pacific Crest Trials are my books. We'd be grateful for a review on
Yes,
Amazon.
please.
Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube.
Hi, Internet.
What's up, YouTube? That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening, and happy hiking.
Bye.